I just realized my mic's been muted side time there. What up, Azo? My bad, man. I was trying to get. I still don't have OBS set up, so I'm still like working on doing some stuff here. We're using StreamYard currently, but they're just running this down our throat again a little bit here. Jalen Armour Davis playing pretty well to start the game, which we're really excited to see him back and playing well. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I've got 4 shots of espresso. We had to go drop the car off to get the AC fixed earlier today. Oh my god! And Braid, the undrafted or I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah, the undrafted rookie, making a huge play in the backfield there. Great tackle in the backfield. He is a favorite among fans to make the roster. Good tackle, just going low, getting to the outside there. Azo said, "I'm wondering why do we play teams in the preseason that we won't play that year in the regular season?" I know it's a little odd. I don't know what exactly goes into the preseason schedule. Trips left, little bit of a bobbled snap. Tavius Robinson gets a hit off, but the ball gets out. And on what should have been a negative play, the Packers miraculously pull a couple yards out of that. We might have pass interference, though. I mean, that still is not 100% how I want it. Wish I could trim that window like an OBS. We'll get there soon, though. And of course, Gamecast already ahead of what I'm actually watching broadcast wise, sadly. And I can already see the Packers are going to take the field goal here and take an early 3-0 lead. You're at work today. Yeah, we had to go drop the car off today. Girlfriend told me last week that the AC on the car wasn't working anymore, so I'm not an AC. Ooh, 54-yard try is good. Just good of the right post. But definitely had the leg probably almost a I'm gonna be honest, guys, that looked like it could have been good from 60. That was a solid kick by Green Bay's kicker there. And we're gonna get the first look at the Ravens offense coming out here. Big storyline, of course, for the Ravens will be who is the starting lineup in this game. Of course, no Tyler Linderbaum, no Ronnie Stanley. Andrew Voorhees has gotten almost every rep at left guard for starting. Right guard, I'm really interested. Have they given up on Ben Cleveland at right guard? I feel like a lot of Raven fans have kind of forgot about him, but just I don't know. It's just gotta make sure I'm not open lunch. Yeah. But Ben Cleveland, of course, has been getting majority of the starting reps at center, and I think this is mostly due to the loss of Sam Mustafer to the Denver Broncos in free agency. Of course, the previous backup center of last year, and really the Ravens. I think McCary might have had a few snaps at center, but it really wasn't working out way early in his career. But McCary, of course, can play either guard position, either tackle position. He is the Swiss Army knife, sixth starting offensive lineman. It really is my philosophy, and I believe the Ravens' philosophy, that you must have six starting quality offensive linemen on your roster at all times, and that six man off the bench has got to have the versatility. That will always, always, always land you like a 3-year, $18 million extension as an offensive lineman, which is similar to what McCary got. It's similar to previous to McCary. The Baltimore Ravens used James Hurst. And of course, James Hurst was brought to the Ravens purely based off his tape at UNC, where he lined up against Clowney, who, of course, ended up in the division. Um, but Cleveland, of course, playing most at center. I really wonder if he's still in the conversation at right guard. He, PFF wise, in the few games he played at right guard last year when Kevin Zeitler was out, played pretty even on pass protection, a little bit under on the run blocking, but pass prot was about the same. Ooh, hold on, we go get some espresso in us. Oh, that's delicious. And let's see, 11-14. We saw some special teams plays last night in the San Francisco game. Can the Ravens pull one today? Kickoff going right side and up at maybe the 30-yard line. And that's kind of what we're seeing from a lot of these special team kickoffs. It seems like right on the 30-yard line or not back to it. And with the Ravens trotting out here, let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to get something else changed up. But yeah, they got Josh Johnson walking out here to start. I'm trying to see that starting offensive line. That's 61 at center. Handoff going off the right guard and just a little bit on the play, not much. And that's Samak, 61, getting the start at center today. Falele at right guard, Rosengarten at tackle. Samak, of course, with the 7th round pick by the Ravens this year. You know, he's starting to impress supposedly in the end of camp. What up, Christopher? How you doing today, my boy? Welcome in. Good to see you. 2nd and 8 here. Johnson under center, a little bit of motion. Play action. Setting up a little bit of a screen. High pass. Great catch by number 36, Collier. Or I'm sorry, that's Owen Wright. My apologies. And great catch on a really bad pass. Johnson really floated that one up. He was getting a little bit, and we've got a little bit of offensive pass interference, so that's going to back up the Ravens a little bit. Should bring up 3rd and 14, I believe. And that's going to be against Devontae Walker. Let's watch the replay here. And yeah, that's not his fault. He's literally 15 yards downfield and threw a block. The screen was just set up bad timing, I feel like. That's not a knock on the Rook. 2nd and 17, because my apologies, that's a 10-yard penalty, not a 5-yard. 10-15 on the clock here in the first. Johnson looking over the middle, just goes back right, and he's got his man 83. That's Ismail with his first catch of the afternoon. And again, we want to thank anyone and everyone for coming and hanging out, joining us today here on the channel. Welcome in. We're also going to be doing some Jackbox gaming tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you come back and check us out later tonight. 6'6", 232, rookie out of Sanford, Kadir Ismail. Flexed out in the slot, it looks like here on 3rd and 13. Johnson, I think that's a false start, and they're signaling it is. That looks like on Falele, I believe, on the right guard. Of course, Voorhees 72 in there at left guard. I'm trying to see who the left tackle is. And like the announcers are talking about there, played tackle mostly in his career. Now he's in at guard. If you have footwork issues, that's always what happens. You get kicked into guard if you can't play in space. Still trying to 100% see this left tackle. That's Josh Jones, 100%. 74. And good run over the middle here, but not going to get that first down, I believe. And that's probably going to bring out Jordan Stout as Owen Wright continues to get the majority of the handoffs here. And guys, I'm a little afraid. I'm not going to lie. Maybe Raven Flock, maybe you can give me your opinion on this, whoever's in here. GT giving Florida State all the. Yeah, I see a lot of people joking about that, honestly, already. Georgia Tech. Oh, you the best college football in your state? But Jordan Stout, good punt here. Ball's going to come down at the 5. Good backspin. Oh! And the ball almost dead stops on the goal line. I mean, maybe a yard. Maybe. And that had been our gunner on the right side was there. That was almost a perfect play. Come on. Ooh. Oh, it makes us excited about Jordan Stout's play here for the season. But let me ask Raven Flock about this. So last year, the Ravens drafted Caillou Blue Kelly, the cornerback out of Stanford. I personally was not a fan of the pick. I was literally doing that draft live. You can go back and watch my reaction. I talk about it. He wasn't on my radar, but we always say in Baltimore, in Aussie we trust, and now in EDC we trust. So, these guys get paid. There's a reason they do what they do. There's a reason I'm just sitting here talking to you guys through a $20 webcam. Um, but that was one of those picks that immediately did not pan out for the Ravens. I'm hoping it's not a Zach Zealer situation like in Miami or Seiler. I'm sorry. But and what you can go back to this year's draft and watch my live coverage. I think I was still live during the 5th round. I started having neck pain and getting sick, so I cut my live coverage and went and just tweeted about the rest of the draft while watching in bed. I was not a huge fan of the Ali pick in the 5th round. I thought there were other running backs there in the 5th round that I liked a little better that I featured on my draft special that I thought also added great special teams, you know, potential. And it just, I don't know. Again, in EDC we trust. We'll let everything play out. That's how it goes. But he is not seen like I think he's still dealing maybe with a hamstring injury, a soft tissue injury. But they brought in Kelly from the Browns. Collier's been playing a lot of snaps. Wright's been playing a lot of snaps. And of course, the big knock on Ali in college was the fumbles. But I'm sure the Ravens did their homework on that. And because they are able to have the conversations with those young men, unlike me. 8:28 here in the first quarter as Green Bay's getting to take their second offensive drive of the game, up 3-0 on the Baltimore Ravens. We're looking to see maybe some Tavius Robinson. We can see Ojabo and Robinson lined up on the edge here for the Ravens. And that's, of course, where the attention's got to be. Packers in a strong formation here. Little play action. Ojabo. Oh, my God. 2 Ravens. Ojabo and another. Right there. Oh, my God. Who else was that? Let's watch here on the replay. Ojabo gets lined up on the tight end, just blows by him. And then 96, Broderick Washington making a push from right defensive tackle. So, I mean, that's great. You got pressure from the 9 on one side and like the 2 to 4 on the opposite side. That's exactly what you want. 2nd and 10, handoff going left, cuts back over the middle, and great tackle on the play. That's Broderick with back-to-back plays now for the Ravens. There was a little talk last year after the Ravens extended him before Beak. Was it the right move? Was he worth the money? He's supposedly been having a great camp, just like Travis Jones. And there's my boy, Brent Urban. He looks alert and ready. I love Brent, man. If you don't know on this channel, guys, we love Brent Urban here on the channel. 3rd and 8 here for the Packers. Robinson Ojabo on the edge again. Urban just switched his footing. I wonder if that means anything. Clifford going to the right side, and that's Nate Wiggins all over him. Might have been a little too handsy, but right on. Let's watch the replay here. He's playing 10 yards off, and no, he's just lightly grabbed. I don't know. That little push in the back at the end might, if he gets a veteran that knows what he's doing to draw the penalty, he's got to be a little careful on that. But, dude, he's right there. He honestly probably could have undercut that and took it. Like, he was watching it the entire time. Like, punt team out here for Green Bay. Definitely not as long a punt here. All at the 22. Going to have time. Hardy dancing way too much. Dude, you got to get downfield. That's a knock on Hardy. Hardy dancing too much on punt return. And I was vocal about that a little bit last year with Duvernay. Duvernay was not quite the returner he was last year. You can go back and watch the lives. We were not happy. Oh, and welcome in, by the way, Jason Captain Niner. Does a lot of good shows for the 49ers. Make sure you check out the channel. Kalofa, my unk. And Christopher says, I love the DH trade. Our run game going to be unstoppable. If you're talking about the Derrick Henry signing, Oh, yeah, absolutely excited about it. Little bit of craziness going on too. Of course, the Seahawks trading their former second round pick to the Bears. I'd love to get Joe Stevens' opinion on that a little bit. Well, let's go back to that punt return a little bit. I was not a fan of the Deontay Hardy signing. Um, Congratulations, Deontay, though, had a child at camp. Super excited for him for that. But I wasn't a fan just purely based off what I saw out of Tylan Wallace last year. I've 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 been a Duvernay fan. I've been a Prochet fan. I think they just under Greg Roman never even got a chance. And just buried behind veterans when I think they had better separation and speed. But it's the thing we had Brown, Prochet, and Duvernay who were all the exact same size and mold type of wide receiver. Cool, but you gotta let them play special teams then, which, Duvernay was a Pro Bowl special player. I think last year he was thinking about getting out of Baltimore and becoming an actual wide receiver for a team. I think he's one of those guys that felt slighted by not being able to crack the roster when he probably what could have, for various different reasons, but and yeah, no worries, my guy, Christopher. I knew exactly it took me a second, but I knew exactly what you meant, so but, I think Wallace earned that job last year. I think he's shown no signs of having the issue. Um, I didn't think Deontay Hardy was I would have rather had an extra halfback that had special teams ability than the wide receiver, and I would rather have the extra slot on the wide receiver to develop a guy, if that makes sense. I feel like we got to develop some good young guys to really take over that wide receiver 3-4 position, and this would be the year to do so. Of course, Devontae Walker are going to be one of those guys. Might even develop into number one. First and 10, handoff going left. That's Owen right and nowhere as the Green Bay is in the backfield early. And this has been actually one of the small concerns I've, reading through the tweets. I try to pay attention to you guys on Raven Flock. A lot of people are kind of worried about the potential run game for the Ravens right now. The run game has not looked especially great in preseason. Of course, no Ron Stanley, no Tyler Linderbaum, um, which is huge. But at the same time, 650 here, second and 11 after the negative run. That's Devontae Walker in motion. Johnson's looking at him, going there, and off the mark. I don't know who that actually that was not Walker, I don't believe. 87. Let me make sure I get that right for y'all. I got the Ravens roster pulled up here. No, I'm sorry, that was Keith Kirkwood on the motion and target. My apologies. But they're showing right there Derrick Henry, Justice Hill going to be leading that. Keaton Mitchell, of course, might be on the pup list, going to be slow to come back. So that RB3 position is wide open right now. And if no one takes it, I think Kelly might take it. And Johnson over the middle, and he gets his wide receiver lit up. And there's Walker on the play. 6:30, and Walker with his first catch. And 3 and out for the Ravens here. Not looking that great today. And of course, like they're kind of talking about right there, this is a Ravens run game without Patrick Ricard. So you have to also kind of think about that and take that into perspective. You know what I'm saying? That is the 6 offensive linemen on the field almost in every run play for the Ravens. The Ravens essentially get away with running a heavy offset package under the guise of an I formation, if that makes sense. And that should be a whole video too. That would actually be a good video idea, essentially. Uh, Jason, can't wait to see Henry and your guys' offense. Might be a few years late for Henry, but still got enough gas to him. And here's the funny thing. I was playing fantasy football last year, and I'll be honest, I thought Henry was going to finally have that fall off. I didn't draft him. And then, of course, he led like every category, like top 3 at least, minimum. While, of course, here's the big thing. You will not find a single football fan or actual analyst who will argue that the Titans had a good offensive line last year. So he was running with potentially one of the worst lines he's ever had in his career. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was actually more involved in the passing game last year than he ever was previously in his career, which is great. That's what we want out of Monken. And the beautiful thing out of Monken is Monken's already said, I want to set up more screens, which has been one of my vocal talk points going even like way back because we talked about it a little here on the channel, guys. I played a little semi-pro football. I played some flag football. In my flag football league, we used to have a quarterback that played for the Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins. Let's just say that, okay? Um, so we were competitive. Um, and one thing that drove me nuts when I played like safety linebacker was a team that could effectively run a quick wide receiver screen and a quarterback and wide receivers that were able to quickly see that and make an audible to it. The moment that wide receiver backs off 10 yards and they don't have an extra man like right there in the space and you've got numbers, it's just like the run game. When you're identifying the mic and trying to decide the way you're going, it's a number game. It's literally as simple as that. And if you have a quarterback and wide receiver that can set up effective screens and good blockers on the outside, it's so tiring because as a DB, you can't take that 10-yard back. You can't give them space ever. And it tires you out, I'm telling you. And that's the offense I like to see a little bit sometimes. Christopher said, I did not like how they tried to talk bad about Monken because he had one bad game. I did not like the play calling championship. Yeah, the 6 rushing attempts in the championship game absolutely drove me nuts. And we'll talk about that in a minute with the Jerry Rosberg thing. 1st and 10 here. Packers' 3rd offensive drive. Little handoff going right. Good run by number 38. I believe they said Merriweather on the play. And that is number 38. But, one of the things that killed me about that whole game, 6 rushing attempts. And Gus Edwards broke a 20-yard run and then basically never got the ball again. What drove me nuts is after the game, Harbaugh constantly lied to the Ravens fans and Raven flock. He said, nah, it's just how the game went, really blew it off almost, and it pissed off a lot of Ravens fans in the flock. And then he goes and tries to hire Jerry Rosberg from the former interim head coach of the Denver Broncos as a game manager, which is exactly where we failed. And if you're new to the channel, guys, that has been one of my critiques for the past 3 years on John Harbaugh. I said it on we were on a Kyle Kitts interview Tuesday. My computer bricked up on me, but I talked about it. John Harbaugh is a great leader of men, and there is no taking that from him. He is a great leader of men. But I've had some problems with like X and O style stuff that he does, how when he uses his timeouts, you can go back last year. I'll be screaming, use a timeout, Harbaugh, timeout. And we lose 15 seconds off the clock. And then Harbaugh calls the timeout. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I understand it's only 15 seconds. But in a game of the 2% athletes, this is a game sometime of inches and seconds. And we know that better than anybody in our Super Bowl run. So it gets me. John Harbaugh, please hire me. I'll be your game managing coach. Trust me. And I'll sit up in the booth and just give me a little button to buzz into you. Hey, run the ball. Hey, no. Just run the ball. Run the ball. I don't care. Run the ball. Run the ball. Kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. Take the points and kick the field goal. I don't care what the analytical guy says. We need momentum right now. Okay, ran over. Sorry, Ravens flock. It just gets me so heated remembering that game, remembering 6 rushing attempts, going back to the countless years of critiques. And I've been on both sides of the hot don't fire and fire Harbaugh bus. There's times and places for everything. Like, whew. All right. Captain says, I mean, the drop-off has had to happen at some point, but Henry's just a freak in nature. Who knows when? Exactly. And the thing is this, the critique with the Ravens offensive line is they moved on from 3 starters, which is huge. Now, they did need to get younger at offensive line. Every Ravens fan agreed with that, but nobody really, like, after I sat down, I was like, "No, we can't do 3. We gotta bring him back like Zeitler at least." Or, I wasn't a horrible opponent of Moses. His run blocking was at least all right. He was liable in pass protection a little bit. But all right, all right. 2:44 on the clock. We've got Pratt in. That's Michael Pratt. I believe out of Tulane they drafted last year. He actually kind of did look pretty good. He needs to work on his footwork right now. And Evans almost gets the sack there. And right there, you can already see the young man's feet were not moving on that. He took a weird, like, let's see if we can watch here. So one, two, he bounced. I mean, actually, that angle it looks way better. So please let me walk that comment back. And that other angle, his footwork looks perfect for what they're doing on that play. You know what I'm saying? It looks so clunky on that side angle. That was crazy. Yeah, I'll be honest. I broke in my fantasy football league that I'm playing in a 6-man league with my boy Chimera. I broke all my rules. I have usually have a huge rule about drafting a lot of Ravens players, and I have a huge rule about like especially same team offense. Like I am in for such a world of hurt in week 14. To be 100% honest with you, but the Ravens offensive line got a lot younger and a lot bigger. Case in point, can you imagine Daniel Falele, 6'8", 380 pounds, pulling with 6'3", 250 Henry and 6'1", 6'3", 300-pound Ricard, all in one power? Like, oh my God. Pratt, little quick outside throw, good catch, good throw. And that's number 18 with the catch for the Packers as they continue to move down the field. 140 on the clock in the first as they're going to get a fresh set of downs to work with. I believe just entered the red zone according to Gamecast. Yeah. And to Marion Pepe Williams there, like they're saying, he played a little too soft on the coverage. Zach Orr actually finally covering as he calls his calls his plays. Sorry, guys. Again, we're working on like 2 hours of sleep right now after having to take the car into the AC shop this morning. Run off the right side, and is the ball out? I think he's down. I think this ball's dead. Ravens do have the ball if it is a fumble, but I do believe this is down. 2nd and 7, 50 seconds and ticking here in the first. And we've got 4 shots of espresso here. We're trying to keep the life going here. And of course, if you don't know, guys, we started Jackbox Gaming and Q&A on Friday nights last week. We postponed yesterday because we really weren't feeling well. We've got Jackbox Game tonight, so make sure if you've got the time, come check it out. It's a game. It's like trivia and like Picture-Fi style games where anyone, including my chat, can join as long as we have the space. Games hold from somewhere between 3 to 8 players, and some games, trivia games, even can hold up to 100 players in the server. So it'll be a lot of fun. We were crying, laughing last week playing. It's a relaxed atmosphere. I'll be sipping on some Crown, enjoying the time. So come back later tonight. 3rd and 7 here, and we've got a flag. I didn't see any false starts. Yep, they're going to call it number 80, false start. So that's going to push Green Bay back a little bit. 3rd and long here as they're trying to make something out of this red zone possession. And of course, they keep showing Zach Orr. The big story is these are really the first ever play calling experience or attempts for him in games. And he's opening week 1 at Kansas City for his first regular season debut. I believe 2nd youngest defensive coordinator in the NFL. Little screen set up left, and that's expected on a 3rd and long. And good tackle by number 94 of the defense. Good hustle to come get that ball. And that's, of course, going to be short here as I'm guessing the field goal unit comes out for Green Bay. That's Waltor. That's a guy I don't really think will probably be on the roster, but 6'3", 283 rookie out of Georgia, and they're going to run this down all the way down to the end of the quarter. Very interesting. Quick update. Let's run down the update. FSU taking on Georgia Tech right now. FSU on a 4th and 11 at or I'm sorry, it's at halftime. They're tied up 14 all. Carolina taking on Buffalo for their final preseason. Carolina up 7-3 right now. They just started their second quarter, kind of like us. The Los Angeles Rams taking on the Houston Texans. They're tied up 3 all, 5 minutes left in the first. And the other two games, we got Minnesota taking on Philadelphia. Minnesota up surprisingly 7-0 on Philadelphia, but we don't know if what starters are playing. And Pittsburgh offense, I guess, finally showing some signs of life. They're up 14-0 on the Detroit Lions with 3:56 left in the first. Let's go take a look at that box score. Let's see what's going on in that Pittsburgh game. So, interesting. So Justin Fields, 2 of 2 for 27 yards. Russell Wilson, 2 of 2 for 26 yards. They're literally playing identical. Both touchdowns going to Pittsburgh rushers, Cordell Patterson and LaMichael Perrine. That's crazy. Hendon Hooker has been sacked 3 times for 17 yards so far. Justin Fields has taken 1 sack for 4 yards. Oh, no, though. Justin Fields with a fumble. Oh, that's got to be costing him the starting job. You cannot have fumble issues. And I don't know how true it is. I heard he blamed his center, Zach Frazier, who I think's actually been looking really good in preseason. So, we might have some controversy in Pittsburgh. This is gonna be crazy. I honestly, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I am so excited for this year of football. I've actually talked a little bit with the girlfriend. I weirdly feel like this is the most knock on wood, barring injuries and everything else going on. This is weirdly the most competitive year of football I think we're ever gonna see. I think every team, the whole Vikings, JJ McCarthy, that's one of the few teams that's been their entire season's being killed by injury a little bit. But, I know the Raiders have a little bit of a quarterback issue. We'll see what we get out of Gardner Minshew. But Caleb Williams and the Bears have hope. This is finally the year that I think the Browns fans are like, all right, Deshaun should be 100% back to football shape, right? The Steelers made some moves for some quarterbacks to give their fan base a little bit of hope, maybe. Finally getting rid of Matt Canada and all that. There's a lot of hope, I feel like, on every team for playoff aspirations. I feel like almost every team can say, hey, I'm going to get to the playoffs. And I think just it's going to make for such a fantastic year of football. I hope I'm right on that, but we'll see. Azo said, tell me what you think about Pittsburgh this year. Pittsburgh made some great moves. So they started by drafting Broderick Jones last year, tackle out of Georgia. They drafted 3 really good offensive linemen this year, I believe. Zach Frazier. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Now I got to go pull up their. It's going to drive me nuts. I want to make sure I get this 100%. So Troy Fatanu, tackle in the first round, Zach Frazier in the second round, and then they went and got Mason McCormick, who I featured on my draft special out of South Dakota State. That is, and I don't know if Fatanu is going to play tackle or not, but that is a lot of good guys. And Pittsburgh nailed their draft last year. I think they nailed their draft this year, honestly. Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen could be an incredibly fast linebacker combo out there. Logan Lee was one of my favorite defensive linemen in the entire draft. Ryan Watts was not a bad defensive back out of Texas. And then Robin Wilson was an absolute great route runner out of Michigan and a hard-nosed blocker, just like George Pickens can be. So it's one of those ones they nailed their draft. They nailed it this year. They nailed it last year. They've transformed their offensive line. Their defense has always been stout. The question has been for years in Pittsburgh, their quarterback play. And the thing is this, they got 2 guys they're trying to do, but Russell Wilson showed nothing the last year. And Justin Fields has had 3 fumbles in 2 games. and only had 2 like snaps basically in this game or so far today. And Pittsburgh right now, they have got a defense that could basically almost get them into the playoffs. But it's all going to come down to their quarterback play and not turning over the football and taking really bad sacks, basically. Um, I think Jalen Warren's a better back than Najee Harris. I think a lot of Steeler fans actually agree with me on that. Jalen Warren has actually one of the best missed tackles forced rate in the NFL. Just got to keep him healthy. I think they could have added maybe to that running back room in this draft. I think there were a lot of good guys that fit their system. Maybe they got taken right before them, but like I said, it's gonna be a fun year of football, guys. I'm excited. Like the thing with Russell Wilson is the contract they've got him on, if they could cut him right now and they lose no money basically. It's a win-win situation for them. They either get a little bit of the old Russ magic or they lose nothing on it, basically. And like, oh, good catch by Anthony Miller there. Good ball by Johnson as well. And Anthony Miller, who I think is actually going to make the roster, and I think he's telling the sideline, keep throwing to me. I think is what he just said. He's probably, knowing Miller, he sat in on a curl right there. I could see Miller as a veteran setting up a double move right here. 4th and 1, and I think they're going to, oh, yeah! John Harbaugh spit, and it got stuck on his chin as the camera was on him. Oh, my God, that's going to be a meme. Oh, my God, and they've got a pass here to Charlie Kolar. Great catch and first down here. And Charlie Kolar, of course, tight end number 3, had a little bit of injuries the past few years, but he's coming back, and he's a great asset as that tight end number 3 in this offense. Yeah, and all I can say is the Seattle Seahawks absolutely fleeced Denver in that trade. They really did. Little play action here. Johnson got a man right, and that's Kolar, but the ball's a little behind him. That's not on Kolar. He's trying to spin back for that ball with a defensive back on his back hip. Johnson's got to deliver better. And what's happening, guys? Where's that Josh Johnson from last game? And great coverage by number, I believe, 38 of the Packers running on that crosser, chasing it down. 2nd and 10, 12-10 on the clock here. And Johnson, of course, has been a big talking point of the Ravens flock as well. He kind of quieted the haters a little bit last week. Oh, did we? No, he got back. And Collier just gets demolished on the inside. And I don't know who's not getting pushed on the line. It might be Falele, but like even Harbaugh, I think, is watching that replay, looks just disappointed. Yeah, he turned his back walking away. He looks just like in dismay right now. He's saying something to the ref. I think he wanted the ref to throw the flag. One of the Packers on the left side of the Ravens offensive line jumped, but I think he got back across. 3rd and 9. 4 wide look here for the Ravens. Ball on the 49-yard line of the Packers. Johnson drops back. Great protection. Got some time. Wide open man over the middle. That's Wallace. The 20, the 10, the 5. He reaches, and he's in. Touchdown, Ravens. And Tylan Wallace on a deep crosser over the middle. Johnson with great protection all day in the pocket. And good run after catches. I think Wallace deserves a roster spot as well. Let's watch this. Packers bring 4. Great protection. Jones and Rosengarten on islands on the left and right side. And absolutely Rosengarten stonewalls the right side of the line. They were saying in the joint practices, Roger Rosengart had a stonewall on Rashawn Gary at one point on one-on-one drills, which is what you want to hear out of a rookie potential starting right tackle. I think they gave McCary a chance to win that right tackle job, and McCary might be the backup at right guard potentially. And like I said, who knows, guys? Maybe they're giving Falele every chance here at right guard to show he can play. But they've got absolute faith in Ben Cleveland at right guard, maybe. I have a weird feeling. Let me make my stake right here. The starting lineup for the Baltimore Ravens offensive line week 1, left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, left guard, Andrew Voorhees, center, Tyler Linderbaum, right guard, despite what we've seen in all these preseason games, Ben Cleveland. Unless he's taken a huge step back from last year and Falele's impressed. I don't know. I get this weird vibe from the Falele playing much, almost like when we saw Tyree Phillips getting a lot of playing time in the preseason, and then we trade into the Giants for what, like a fifth? Um, we'll see about it, but maybe Ben Cleveland's what we're actually going with over there. Um, and of course, Rosengard and McCary on the right, which Rosengard winning the starting right job, McCary being, of course, his perennial backup and potential, guy if Ronnie gets hurt. But I would think what I'm excited about Ravens Flock too is one of the draft stories about Rosengarten was he was a left tackle. When Michael Penix came there, of course, Michael, a lefty, his blind side is not the left, but the right. And he likes to be a blindside protector. A little bit of that Orlando Brown Jr. energy, you feel me? Which can be a good and bad thing. So the bad thing, of course, is if it goes the route of Orlando Brown Jr., of course. I don't see it working out that way. I think the Ravens drafted Rosengarten to win the starting right tackle job because they like him that much. We saw inside the draft room, a lot of teams were calling up to get Rosengarten when we were on the clock. Steelers probably would have taken him too, honestly. But anyway, he switched from left tackle to right tackle, meaning he can play that left tackle. He's competitive, which we like that mindset. Of course, if you didn't watch the offseason plan of the Ravens, where I play the GM of the Ravens, and last year I did more teams, I didn't have the time this year. We talked about restructuring Ronnie Stanley's deal, and then the Ravens literally like a week later restructured Ronnie's deal almost verbatim as we said on the video. Basically, changing the money this year to let him hit free agency a little sooner. It worked perfect. I think Rosengarten is the future left tackle of the Ravens, unless like a left tackle falls into their lap next draft. But usually when you're picking 25 to 32, you're not going to find an elite left tackle, especially like last year's draft class was the generational tackle class. So we're not going to see a generational tackle at pick 32 next year. So I think the plan is to move Rosengarten to left tackle next year if Ronnie signs a big deal, which I think they want Ronnie to sign a big deal so that they can get the compensatory pick and hopefully a third round pick, for it. And great play design there to get them. But this is going to be interesting to watch. Later, my guy. Have a good one at work. Appreciate you for dropping in, Captain. If you've got time, man, come in for Jackbox games tonight. And Merriweather run off the left side and just a little bit. Malik Harrison on the tackle there with Brent Urban. 11:05 here in the second quarter. And Ravens got a 7-6 lead. And that's what I was saying. Tylen's not a bad receiver, man. Like, he's really not. And like they're talking about, well, this is mostly for Zach Orr right now. But what I want to see right now is even when I know we don't have the personnel really, we don't have Michael Pierce, Beak, all our starting guys that are actually going to be on the roster. A lot of teams have been just running it off their left guard at us, our right side. A play action and nobody there. That's a highlight clip. That was hilarious. And That hit by Harrison and number 28, Kanusu Kane. And Kanusu Kane, oh my god, I'm messing up his name. Sanusi Kane has absolutely leveled some hits here. He is a big hitter that I feel like the Ravens haven't had a big hitter there at safety in a long time. Oh, like I feel like, and again, they're running up the middle on us, and I maybe Zach Orr's big braining all of us guys. Maybe he is luring everyone into a sense that the Ravens can't stop the run up the middle, just to, of course, put Michael Pearson beak there in the regular season and not have that problem. But the announcers are saying right there, it's obvious somebody's getting moved out of their gap every time here, and that's number 68. I think his name's Tupu, and run going up the middle, the same spot, and that's another 5 or 6 yard gain. And like this is where I've been saying, like, I know maybe he's big braining all this. That's CJ Ravenel. Just 69 is Josh Tupu. But like maybe he's big braining all of us. And like I said, he's luring everyone to a sense of it. But I want to be able to see my defensive coordinator take this away, even when you don't have the personnel to do so. You've just gotta figure it out. That's what you're paid to do in a sense. And I feel like Mike McDonald would have. But it's preseason, it's whatever. Weird little quarterback read option play there. 8 minutes left here in the second quarter as Green Bay is, I believe, in the red zone. But yeah, this is they're excited though. We're seeing a lot of Trenton Simpson and good snaps basically coming out of Trenton. And of course, man, it's just hard to even envision this Ravens defense because we haven't seen like this defense for real out there this preseason. Ravens might bring some pressure, and we've got a timeout by the Packers. That's probably actually a great timeout. Great timeout, actually. So let's talk about timeout usage real quick, guys. Both teams still have all three timeouts. We are more than halfway through the second quarter, and no timeouts have been used. At that point, I would say you are ahead of a timeout slottage usage. You are in a critical third down situation in the red zone, trying to take the lead back. You know, and the Ravens walk out of pressure. Look, great. Take that time out. Let's analyze what they showed us. Let's see if they bring the same look. Let's have something designed for that. And if they change it, of course, let's talk this out. It's 3rd and 4. Only need a short pass here. That is a great timeout by the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if the head coach did it or if he. That's where I expect also John Harbaugh, if he doesn't call it, to call into Monken. Hey, buddy, just a quick heads up. I think we're good on timeouts right now, running through the gameplay scenario situations and analytics. Wow, what a pass. Pratt to number 80, and that's a touchdown by the Packers. That's a great touchdown catch. Bo Melton lined up as the not the I guess kind of the slot on the right side, the outside slot. And Pepe Williams, I mean, right there, right on him. Great job not getting interference, but that's just a great back shoulder catch by Bo, honestly. And like they're saying, Pepe didn't see the ball quick enough. And they're saying basically if he would have lined up on outside shade instead of an inside technique on that play, that he might have been able to see better, I think is what they were saying. Yeah, it would have made it harder to run out the fade. And of course, he went over the middle. You've got eyes on the quarterback. I don't know what the Ravens coverage was there. It probably was man across the board with maybe was it cover one or cover two? That's the real question. Because if they had man, was it cover two man or cover one man? That's an interesting one. Technically, you can have a weird cover three man, but like not full man. That's an interesting combo coverage. Usually used to take away a number one wide receiver, especially in key situations. I wish Madden had more like those style specialty plays. Like they do have one combo coverage like that, but I think it's a cover three, and it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work how it's supposed to work. That's actually one of my biggest critiques of Madden is it's so easy for the offensive side to call so many audibles and changes quickly, which then the AI on the defense just struggles to keep up with. So essentially, if you want to in Madden, you can get a free play on every single play as long as you are quick on your play calling, get it in quickly. Basically, run a little bit of the Peyton Manning style offense. Hurry up to slow down, get up quickly to the line with your first play call, and see if it looks good. If it doesn't look good, mess around with them a little bit, really use your time, and possibly call two or three audibles there to get the look that you want, and then finally run it. Run some dummy calls even. uh there's just so many things you can do, and I feel like on the defensive side of the ball in Madden, it's just you can't accurately keep up with the adjustments that you need to do. You know what I mean? Like, case in point, we know in the NFL, you might run like what Bill Belichick did to Rashad Bateman last year. He ran man with a cover safety, and basically the safety always stayed to Bateman's side to take away that post slant that he kept running and taking. He took that slant and recorded one of next gen's fastest speeds last year in the NFL on that slant that he took like 70 yards to the house. Um, so and we've got a kick return here by the Ravens. And Owen Wright makes the first guy miss, but gets tripped up. And Wright's getting even some chances out there at special teams. I really feel like Ali might not make the roster. He might be a practice squad guy. And I know this might sound spoiled, and I don't know if Ravenflock will agree with me on this, but I feel like it's a waste of a draft pick if they end up on practice squad. I really do. If my fifth round pick doesn't end up as RB4, RB3, wide receiver 5, 6, like special teams returner. Ooh, Devin Leary with a good rollout pass. Kolar makes first man miss. Still going in. It's going to be, looks like a gain of 8 officially on the play, maybe 8.5. And we're going to get our first Devin Leary appearance. I'm excited here. Young man, this is your opportunity. I know you had a bad year at Kentucky. Channel that NC State Wolfpack a little bit here. That he's got a cannon for an arm. And I wasn't the only one that saw it at the combine. You can go back and watch the actual combine coverage, and you'll hear, I believe, Daniel Jeremiah be like, he's got some zip on him. Makes me want to go back and watch a little more tape on him. And Collier not getting much. Might have got the first down with a second effort here. And I think we've got a lot of backups in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to go look at it here. Cleveland, Jones, Rosengarten. Okay, we still got I think that starting offensive line here. I should say starting of this game. 6:05. First and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line of the Ravens. Kolar, the tight end in motion. Little toss play going right. Got a good pull, and the ball might have came out by Collier on the hit. And if it did, it's the Packers ball, I think. Big hit on the play. And the honestly, these running backs they're again, this is what's killing me. I think the ground causes the fumble, so I think we're okay. Rosengarten and Samek out there. Oh, and Samek down with an injury. Oh no, that's not a good sign for the Ravens. I mean, they've got a backup center, but like you don't want to see that young guy going down potentially. Hopefully he's okay. Harbaugh looking on in a little bit of almost like shock. Was that Laulu up there on pulling? Might have been Corey Pollock. I swore it was 67, but I might be wrong. And he was struggling to get out there, but he was downfield pretty far if that was him. Oh, man. But the Ravens really haven't had a guy separate for that RB3. As long as Keaton Mitchell's on the pup list, RB3 is open. We haven't really seen much of Kelly. I think a lot like Ali hasn't really shown that much, and he's been dealing, I think, with soft tissue injury. We've seen a lot of Owen Wright and Collier, but they showing good flashes, both of them. Like Owen Wright, I think that has a slight edge in it all, but at the same time, I I was talking a little bit about this with Kyle Kitts um, on his channel the other day. It when you go and you watch these guys and you watch the combine and you watch camp, it is so easy, in my opinion, to spot the difference in acceleration in players. And while like Owen Wright and them are all and Collier, they're all like pretty good. It's not like JK, Justice, Hill, Keaton Mitchell speed, not even close. And Samick could not get off the field in his own power. Let's see, good block by Rosengard on the outside, and Samick just kind of gets it like his leg rolled up on, but he doesn't go down right away. Maybe it's his ankle. He gets was it his right leg too? He kind of gets like tripped up, kind of like goes airborne a little bit, and then he comes back down hard on I think his right foot, like while going airborne, basically trying to like I think step over somebody, and he's going off on the Green Bay medical card. That's hard to see. Second and 4 for the Ravens. Heartbreaker to lose your young rookie like that, who was showing actually some pretty. Oh, Leary gets destroyed as Josh Jones absolutely gets destroyed, misses his guy, gets Leary blindsided, and they're going to take that back for a touchdown. And it looks like that's going to be a 27 lead, barring the PAT now, as Josh Jones just lets his guy blow by him. Let's watch it here. Josh Jones on the left side of the Ravens offensive line with the halfback. And Josh Jones blocked down on the play action. I don't know what happened. Josh Jones, like looking back as his quarterback gets hit too, took a minute to realize. I mean, the thing is, like, the play action was inside, so the halfback was on the same page. It seemed like everybody else was on the same page there, except for. And there's someone on the offensive staff and Devin Leary. They're having a conversation. The quarterback's now on the sideline with him, George Warhoff, and he's showing him something on the tablet there. And they're all looking. Look at them. They're all looking at that, looking at the tablets, rewatching the play, saying, what just happened? Like, we can't let that happen to Lamar. Yeah, that's 100% on Josh Jones. That's 100% Josh Jones' fault. And that's the kind of stuff you cannot let that happen to Lamar. A strip sack like that and a big hit on Lamar. Oh, you will never see the field again if you let that happen to Lamar. All because of a miscommunication. And it seemed like it was all his miscommunication. And Owen Wright with a little bit of space and tackled at the 35-yard line. And that's how Owen Wright just doesn't have that breakaway speed. he's got really good speed. Like, he's not slow by any means, but he doesn't have that breakaway speed to be doing kick returns and to be that change of pace back we need. Don't get me wrong, Justice Hill is that kind of change of back pace a little bit, but I feel like what's kind of funny about this is the Ravens really have three different running speeds. Derrick Henry is one running speed. Justice Hill runs at a different running speed. And then Keaton Mitchell runs at a whole different level speed. Like Henry runs power, Justice Hill runs one cut slashing, and Keaton Mitchell just runs the outside insanely fast zone and stretches, basically. And of course, Henry can do a little bit of all, of course. A little bit more of that cutting on when he goes outside, the one cut style, kind of like what we used to see a lot in Houston, out of Gary Kubiak's offense, essentially. But 2nd and 8 here, 4:50 as the Ravens now down 20-7 in the second quarter after that bad play. And let's see, Josh Jones is still in there. And that's, like I said, Josh Jones just hurt his chances ever playing left tackle. And he's getting absolutely pushed back. Leary going to have to run out of the pocket, and he's just going to take a couple yards off the right, make it a 3rd and manageable. And the entire Ravens offensive line on that pass was stonewalled. Like they, at the line of scrimmage, had their guy set. Josh Jones just got straight bully power rushed into the backfield, pushed back about 3 to 5 yards on that play. He is not having a good day right now. 3rd and 3. Ravens heavy alignment on that left side, trips in the slot, bunch formation. Ball on the right hash mark, so a lot of space on that side. We expect it to go there. Leary staring it down, delivers a ball, and almost out of the stretch of Wade, but he made a great catch on the ball low and outside, and that's going to be a first down. But it looked like Leary stared this down a little bit. He's got a and good little whip route there by Wade. Wade, one of those wide receivers, and that's a fingertip catch. Great job. And Wade, one of those guys that's probably going to make that roster at the end of the. I wonder if he's got any special teams ability. Tuesday is official cut down day. We might go live for roster cut day, honestly. And good pass there. 7-yard gain. Was that Collier finally getting some? And like they're talking over there, he's got some accuracy issues. Oh, that's Kelly. We're finally seeing some Kelly. That's what I want to see. I feel like Kelly as a veteran might be the guy to make this roster. If he can show some good decisiveness. That's all he needs to show right now is solid 3-yard gains and decisive running. And that's exactly what we want from Kelly. That is good running through the contact. And a huge first down for the Ravens as Kelly getting his second touch of the game and looking really good. And right there, 5'10", 208 in his 4th season from Tennessee, the free agent acquisition from the Browns. And that's exactly what I want to see. Decisive, make your cut, get vertical, and get downfield. And good job bouncing off contact here. Let's see if he can continue that momentum. We might 209, 2-minute warning approaching. Ravens will get the snap off, a little bit low. Leary with a play action. That was definitely a hold on the right side. And oh my God! Bounces off the fingertips of 3 Packers players. Should have been intercepted. And somehow Dayton Wade ends up with the ball. Touchdown, Ravens. Oh my God. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Someone cue up ESPN right now. Get Rich Eisen on the phone. That's going to be on ESPN later today. Let's watch this play. Kolar getting absolutely bullied on the right side of the Ravens offensive line. Leary escapes, tries to sneak one in through the middle, goes through the hands of one Packers player who had the interception, bounces off another Packers player hand, and somehow still continues downfield because Leary throws absolute dangers. He throws that ball so hard, and the ball somehow continues downfield into Dayton Wade's hands. That is Oh, that touched the ground. That's an incompletion. Bring it back. That touched the ground. Almost had a ESPN. Bring back the da-na-na. I need to do da-na-na backwards. Na-na-na. Da-na-na. Uh, on. I don't. I don't even know. Trying to be funny, comedic, if some might say. But Kelly making a strong argument. And here's the thing, guys. I think if the Ravens were absolutely happy with Owen Wright and Collier or one of the or Ali as their RB3 going into the season, I think the Kelly signing we wouldn't have done. I think it didn't make sense. Kind of the same thing with Anthony Miller. I kind of like the Anthony Miller pick a little bit. Um, it depends on how many wide receivers the Ravens are going to keep. So, of course, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, Devontae Walker, Tylan Wallace. That's 5. That leaves what? Maybe one more slot, basically. And that last slot, you got to have another guy that can play special teams just in case. In my opinion, just in case Tylan Wallace gets hurt, you have to have another guy that can play special teams. Maybe the Ravens keep 7 wide receivers. But of course, that final wide receiver spot's been between Keith Kirkwood, Dayton Wade, and of course Anthony Miller and Malik Cunningham, the quarterback switched to wide receiver. And again, I feel like the Ravens don't sign Anthony Miller unless if they weren't if they really liked one of those young guys to take 6 and 7, Miller doesn't get signed. I feel like they're happy playing with younger guys, you know. No reason to bring a vet into camp for a camp body like that. So I think that spoke volumes about how internally the Ravens staff is viewing some of these guys. Um, the Ravens, weirdly, hear me out. They just mentioned, and like we said, we might actually schedule a stream for it. Tuesday is cap or roster day. So Tuesday, we're going to see these rosters really trimmed down to the full 53-man roster. Practice squads get set, all of that. That's going to be huge. And there's already some people like, they're talking like, what players, there might be a couple guys that, might draw some interest. Quick update across the NFL. We've got Carolina taking on Buffalo 14-11. Pittsburgh still only got 14 points. Detroit with 7 now. The LA Rams 9-10. Houston has that lead. Minnesota's got a 17-3 lead over Philadelphia. And of course, later on today, we've got LA Chargers taking on Dallas, the Giants taking on the Jets, and of course, Cleveland taking on Seattle. Some pretty good preseason games coming later. 2nd and 10 here. Leary with a motion. Strong formation left for the Ravens. He's looking over and he stares down his wide receiver again and throws a pick. Staring down Quadre Ismail from the very get-go and just throws the pick. And why is Lamar look happy right there? Lamar was literally like bouncing and looking happy. Let's watch the replay. God, his eyes never move. They never move from snap to throw. And there's a linebacker sitting on outside shade of Quadre Ismail. And yeah, there's Lamar, him and Isaiah Likely. And him and Isaiah, dude, they look like they could be brothers. And if you don't know, I went to CCU. My girlfriend's a CCU alum. We are huge Isaiah Likely fans on this channel. I'm a fan of every CCU alum that makes it to the NFL. Shout out to the old Lorenzo Talaferro. I think but Clark over there on the Chargers was the practice squad last year, featured on the draft special. We're hoping for some more CCU guys. But anyway, I'm so excited for Isaiah Likely this season. 2nd and 10. Michael Pratt, good time running up the middle. Scrambling off left side, and that's Pepe Williams on him, and good punch out attempt by Pepe Williams on him. We've got a flag on the play. Hey, we've got Kenny up in the chat. How you feeling, Levi? Are you game tonight? I'm game tonight for some Jackbox games. Yep. And again, guys, I mentioned it a few times. Don't forget, we're doing Jackbox games tonight on the channel, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Western time. A little bit of Q&A, fun Jackbox games. We did it. It's going to be weekly every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. But last night we weren't really feeling the best most of the day, and oh my God, Kenny, I'm working on 2 hours of sleep right now. I had to actually get the car. The AC went out in my girlfriend's car, so I had to get that into the shop early this morning. Had to go to Home Depot, get some toggle bolts to get the TVs. I got two 43-inch TVs sitting out there. I'm actually right here on the wall beside me. Uh, I'm going to mount a 43-inch TV so I can have the NFL games. I can have two NFL games up on my left and right. I'll eventually have a picture up on Twitter, guys, Darwin Raven 20. We're going to have 6 monitors basically along this wall between me and my girlfriend with our matching computer desk and our dual monitor PCs with matching 43-inch flat screen TVs mounted on the walls. It's going to be fun. But Braden on the tackle for the Ravens with 52 seconds left. Ravens are having a rough day here in Lambeau. And look at that. There are a lot of Packer fans here at the stadium right now. That's wonderful to see. Oh, but I feel like I'm having some like heart palpitations from the espresso. Probably like weird. Eating Wendy's at like 10:45 this morning was a bad idea, guys. We're on the way home from Home Depot and the car place and everything, and um, oops. And I was like, you know what? I bet you would probably love. She's like weird. She can eat like lunch food early in the day, and she's like, baked potato from Wendy's sounds so good. I said, done. Let's do it. I'll eat whatever from Wendy's. I could care less as long as you're happy with what you're eating. And oh my God, Wendy's at 10:30 in the morning, basically not a great idea. And good catch over the middle as the Packers are trying to run a 2-minute offense here to end the second quarter. Later, Kenny. I'll catch you later tonight, my boy. I'll make sure I get you that link if you don't have it. And that's a false start on the Packers, going to back them up a little bit and stop the clock here. Is that a 5-second, 10-second runoff due to offensive penalty in the final 2 minutes of a quarter or half? Is that how that rule works? I can't remember if that's still a rule or not. Yeah, Jackbox games tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. We usually do it Friday nights. It's fun, guys. It's like picture five trivia style games. Depending on the game I play and I set up, even like a lot of my chat players can come in and join. You can play on your phone, tablet, or computer. You don't actually have to like be on the stream. You know what I'm saying to play the game. So, oh, and Green Bay used a timeout actually before the false start, I guess. So they changed that rule. So the 10-second ride runoff is there, but I guess if you have timeouts left, you can elect to. That's garbage. When did that? That's literally giving a gimme to the head coach. I don't like that. I hate that. That is something that the head coach used to be responsible for, and now they essentially get a gimme if they have a timeout. And here's the thing, guys. Maybe I'm crazy. Hear me out. I've talked about it earlier in the stream. I've talked about it in my past. Usage of timeouts in good situations. And I guess Harbaugh gets to choose what? I'm so confused on how this works. That's a stupid rule change. And even the announcer's like, I'm a little confused on that one. And even again, why would you not take the 10 seconds off the clock, Harbaugh? Why? Especially in the two. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, announcer. Like, why would you not take the 10-second runoff? Unless he's being good. He's just maybe being nice to head coach McCarthy. just like the PAT attempt last week where there was like a gentleman's agreement about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we'll mute the criticism on not taking the 10-second runoff. It was probably just a gentleman's decision to let Green Bay really run that offense. But at the same time, that's not really running their 2-minute offense if because in a real game that they would you would have taken the penalty. So, but the thing is this Baltimore has all three timeouts right now, and they're going to end the half with all three timeouts. Let me stress this to you. You should never end a half or game with all of your timeouts intact. That is bad coaching and game analytics and like game management. It's as simple as that. Some of the best timeouts that have ever been taken in football have been timeouts for your defense, especially in critical third down situations. Offense, there's a little bit of debate. Do you let them get the play call? Do you run hurry up? But if you're already not running a hurry up kind of quick offense, trying to get the quick third down, and you're, really using your full game clock and making sure, then why not use a timeout for the game calling critical situation as well? Just like the Packers did when the Ravens walked out there with a ton of pressure in a critical third and goal situation. The Packers took a really good timeout and ended up, I think, actually converting all of their plays. It's one of those ones where again, you can not only at that point line up the play, because again, it was a 3rd and 4 in that situation. That is a easily conversion situation where even a draw or run play is still in the wheelhouse for 4 yards, especially in a red zone where the defense is probably going to push back a little bit and really protect the goal line. You know what I'm saying? So you not only prep, of course, that first play for the first down, but you prep the next play. That's how you truly take advantage. You say, all right, I'm calling the conversion play. And also, I want you to pick up the pace after the first down because nothing's more demoralizing than the defense not getting off the field on that third down conversion on in the red zone, but you immediately run back to the line of scrimmage and pick up the pace. And now they're freaking out trying to make personnel adjustments if they want to, or, or just get their guys lined up. And then, of course, you got to pull one out of the Belichick, Shanahan, and McVay playbook 100% on this. Your second play call designed after the conversion, and maybe even weirdly, you play these together to run a dummy motion. But the second one has to have a motion because, again, you're trying to force a miscommunication on that second play call for the touchdown. Nothing better than running a quick hurry up after a demoralizing play and running a motion. And like I said, you could run a dummy motion. And when I say dummy motion, what I'm meaning is you run a motion on the first play as well that then the second play runs like a fake off of. So let's say I run all right. So on the first play, I run a Z motion drag basically. So I take my Z from the far hash or sideline, motion him, and then when I snap, run him on that drag across the middle. Really, that is like one of the scariest things for a cornerback is when they run that crosser, man, and you gotta get across that field at full speed and get on their hip. You know what I'm saying? So you run that the first play. Then the second play, you run that same motion, but you run like a whip zig, basically, that cut in and then, chop and break back outside. There's a million, you call it whip, zig. What did they used to call it in Kubiak's offense? Owen Daniels used to run it all the time. It's not, no, not Texas. That's the inside slant, right? I'm trying to remember what they used to call in Coob's offense. But you know what I'm saying, little inside, outside off that motion. And again, if you burned that DB on the first drag, he is going to come hard on that second one probably to get across, and then you got him outside easy. Um, I'm just, I just, I know I'm being a little nitpicky here, Flock, and please bear with me on it. But and I said this actually, who was it? One of the Ravens offensive line that's not with us anymore. But they were talking about it, everything. And I was like, um, I want to make sure I get this saying right. Correction made out of love can be a beautiful thing. Meaning, even though I'm critiquing you, even though I'm like, dude, you gotta hit that, man. Like, at least I'm not going full Brian Flores. You suck, bro. You can't even play you're not gonna make it. I'm like, you don't go full Brian Flores, Brian Billick, but you do continue to coach them and say, hey man, while you're MVP, I think you can be absolutely like record breaking, game changing, Hall of Fame, first ballot, no doubt perennial back-to-back Super Bowl champion type of quarterback. I think you got so much talent that you could put Mahomes in the dust kind of thing. You hype your guy up, you know? But so I have my critiques of Harbaugh, but don't get it twisted. I don't hate everything about Harbaugh. But and you can't maybe I'm wrong. I feel like you can't even argue with me that I'm not right about these game management situations because we botched it last year. We botched it the year before. The only time we did not botch it was on the safety taken as a punt, like in that Super Bowl run, which was genius. But that was, yes, a special teams move. And constantly the offense and defense have not gotten, I feel like, what they need from the head coach on game day a little bit. Um, And again, it's these little things. And again, you can't argue that I'm wrong because we tried to hire Jerry Rosberg for that exact position after the horrible playoff loss. When finally, I feel like I was a little. It was one of those ones. I was so mad at Harbaugh and the Ravens staff after that game. Monken hadn't even spoken yet. I think at that point, but what Harbaugh said just made me angry because I felt like a leader not taking true accountability for what we just witnessed as fans. And I know I say this on the channel last year. Let me say it this year for the first time. I am not an NFL quarterback. I am not an NFL coach. I am lower than an armchair quarterback. Let's say that, okay? Let's have a little bit of humility and humbleness in our opinion and where we're coming from. But that also doesn't mean that I can't be correct on my observations. My draft specials have kind of shown that a little bit. I hate to be that person. And I'm hoping next year I nail my third draft special in a row. You know, we still got to wait for this year's draft to pan out. But if next year I nail another draft special, guys, your boy's going to lose his mind because I'm be like, yeah, if you go back and watch my draft special from last year and this year, you know, we got to wait for it to pan out. But last year, if I had been a GM for a team given 11 picks or so in a draft, which I would have been trading back to make my picks 100%. I love trading back and gaining draft capital. Um, I could have fielded a starting caliber offense and potentially defense out of nothing but third round picks and lower last year. And it's a little early for this year, but this year, again, everyone was like, oh man, who could have predicted Tyson Bagent last year? Won 2 games, lost 2 games for the Bears. Yep, he was on my draft special. Who would have thought Keaton Mitchell would have been such an undrafted rookie free agent stud? Yep, he was on my draft special, and I would have been very vocal. If I had been a GM in the NFL, Keaton Mitchell would have never gotten out of the 7th round. I probably would have spent a 6th round on Andrew Voorhees last year instead of the 7th round like the Ravens did. I would have traded up at the start of the 7th round to go get Andrew Voorhees. Like I did really well in my draft special last year. We're really hoping it, but it's just one of those ones. I'm like, man, what I would give to be a scout for an NFL team. I've joked about it with Lacey DaCosta, the wife of course, Eric DaCosta, our GM. Talk about, all right, let's give a little shout out to Lacey here. I randomly saw Lacey one day on Twitter, like just answering a tweet. I think about something with about Eric DaCosta and someone hating on the draft, and I was in agreement with her opinion. And I was like, no way, that's like the wife of our GM, right? Or like related to our GM. No way, right? And then reading through comments one day, I was like, holy crap, it is. And she is such a great Ravens fan. She's interactive with the fan base. Like she's just seems like genuinely a good person. Kind of like I've had some conversations. Brent Urban's wife, Kate Urban, they welcomed in a baby, I believe, last year or this year. I think he's 1 year old now, so last year. And I comment on the post just because his name's Levi, and I joked, that the name Levi really did disappear for a long time. The only Levi I've ever met either super old or babies. And so it was, cute. I'm like, oh, we got another part of the Ravens flock. It's just one of those ones I like feel almost like we're so blessed as a fan base to have someone like that. I don't know if the other fan bases have like people like Lacey. Azo said our most important losses in the last 2 years, I feel, are a result of exactly what you're talking about. And thank you. Like, thank you. Um, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's been game management and analytical issues. And case in point, why do we go into halftime with all three timeouts? I know it's preseason. I know I'm just a fan. I didn't even play, I walked on to Coastal Carolina University my freshman year. I really needed some scholarship money to, to get through college, to be honest with you. I was working, living on my own at 18. Um, Started at CCU as a psychology major, hopefully going to psychiatry. Um, you know, and that's when the '08 gas crisis hit too. It was I ended up having to pull out of school because I just did not have enough money to drive to school every day from where I lived. I was like about a 30 to 45-minute drive each way. Um, Not a good drive either, bad drive. But my one mistake, and I talk about this on the channel a little bit too, is Patrick Ricard, and I love his story. Patrick Ricard did what I should have done. I walked on to CCU as a tight end my freshman year. It was the year they were actually going to open up against Penn State, and the third day of the walk on tryout, the tight end coach, I was talking to him one day, getting ready to size up for my pads and everything, and he literally looked me in the face. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. We've already got so many tight ends on scholarship. There's basically no way you make this team." Um, and dude, I that broke my heart. Like I was like, well, it doesn't matter how feel like I'm out here outrunning people, getting compliments. Like it just and at that point I should have looked at the coach like Patrick Ricard did and said, "What you want me to play, coach?" And I should have made a position change to something else when I still was like a weird junior could have. But that's a learning lesson for me. But, so I never really played college football. I played a little bit of semi-pro football after that. After high school, I walked onto a semi-pro football team. Um, and fun fact, I walked onto the semi-pro football team 6:30, about 2:25, 2:30. Had not been lifting, had not been running. All I had been doing is working like my 5 a.m. to 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m. job at the airlines, throwing bags on the ramp all day. And I walked on there 6'3", 225, 230, ran a 4.7 flat 40, which I definitely feel like I could have got down more. And I think like 9 3/4. Basically, I have the same size hands as Sammy Watkins. And I've got a pretty decently long arms too. So I've got good measurables. Azo said like going for two instead of taking the tie. There's just been so many little critiques, like case in point, when we had the 6 rushing attempts, uh, Gus had just broken like a 20-yard run. How do you look me in the face and say, "Oh, the running game wasn't really working"? You never tried, first of all. And out of 6 rushing attempts, if one goes for 20, I'm considering the run game a success. So when you come out there, you say it wasn't working, you lie to my face. When you tell me it was part of the plan, I know that's not true. You lie to my face. And then, of course, when you go and try to make the hire, that at least was to correct the issue, which I am happy you tried to make the hire. but I'm also it's a bittersweet feeling because it really does show you lied to our faces. And maybe you didn't actually understand. Maybe you were ignorant of this of the situation and you didn't know. But God, man, as the head coach of an NFL team, I expect that from you. I am not paid. I wish I was getting paid for this. I would do almost anything to get paid to do this for any NFL team. But and we're going to see the Packers just kick one out through the back of the end zone as the third quarter gets started here. And we've got flags down to start the third quarter already. What up, John Jay? How you doing, my guy? They are having a rough day in Lambeau right now. Devin Leary staring down quarterbacks. John Harbaugh not managing the clock correctly. Josh Jones, the veteran left tackle, literally missing assignment and letting Devin Leary get blown up blindside. Uh, John Harbaugh literally tried to spit earlier when the camera was on him, and it got stuck on his chin, and it was so awkward. And I can almost guarantee you are gonna see. Oh my God, hold on, I gotta put it beside it before I forget it. I gotta make some Hawk Tua jokes. I gotta make a Hawk Tua meme about it before it gets taken. But of course, the Ravens not playing a lot of starters. And Leary, we've got a fumble. Oh no, that's number 84, the tight end. And he didn't tackle. He got up and walked away. And that Sharp, the tight end, and he's definitely not going to be on the roster. Probably not going to make the practice squad either. I think that's going to be Kadir Ismail's spot. That's oh my God, the Ravens are playing bad football right now. Bad football on every the defense is not playing terrible, but the offense, the special teams, I hate what I've seen out of Deontay Hardy on his kick return so far. And we saw Owen Wright go in right after, too, which is hilarious. I think the coaching staff also agreed with what I saw on Hardy's kickoff return. It was our punt return. I'm sorry. He had so much room and he danced for 5 seconds, 5 whole seconds. And Harbaugh definitely getting a little upset right there. I am too, honestly. But again, real quick shout out, guys. Thanks for everyone coming here, dropping in this Saturday. We're going to have Jackbox Gaming tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you drop in, check it out. Doing a little bit of Q&A. It's going to be a relaxed atmosphere. We're going to be drinking a little bit of Crown and Coke. Actually, hold up. No, hold on. I got something better than Crown and Coke, guys. I've got Crown and Mr. Pibb. If you are not a Mr. Pibb fan, what is that commercial? If you don't like bread, fuck you. Talladega Nights? If you don't like Big Red, well, fuck you. Oh my God, too funny. And again, remember, if you come to hang out, guys, you've chosen wisely, my friends. Thank you for coming hanging out with us today. As Clifford going to get a pass off on the left side of the Packers side, and we've got a lot of guys that aren't going to be on the roster for the Ravens out right now. Raven fans, though, really punching the wall, a little upset. You know what I mean? Whew. I'm going to go grab a beverage, guys. Give me one moment. I will be right back. Good to hear you'll be there, man. This is going to be, I think, our biggest Jackbox gaming night since we started last week. I'm super excited for it tonight, my guy. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I only had like 2 hours of sleep. We had to get the car into the shop for an AC issue and go get some toggleables from Home Depot to mount these TVs. Was supposed to be today, probably going to be tomorrow now, sadly. I enjoy the line game. That was fun. It was fun, my guy. Like that. And like I said, I was debating whether to open a new box of Jackbox games, but I don't want to ruin the new games like yet. I want to hold off for a little bit. So we'll probably continue the same game pack of games tonight. So look forward to it. And of course, if we get like 20 people, like chat gets involved, we might have to go to Fibbage a little bit, which is more like that trivia style game. Handoff going left, and again, the run game continues to find some room to run off that left side, right side of the Ravens defensive line. As of course, Sanat in there, a lot of guys that again aren't going to be on the roster for the Ravens. I'm gonna go grab that drink. Be right back, guys. Oh, oh wait, where's my koozie? Oh, I got the best drink holder koozie in football, ladies and gentlemen. It's that like mini Ravens helmet, right? You know, so yeah, your handles, the helmet, and of course, just slide your drink or beverage of choice on in. If you drinking at one, crack a cold one with the boys here on Darwin's Raven. Hold on. Oh, that's such a great sound. 12:05 here in the third. Packers in the red zone, ball on the 9, maybe 8 yard line of the Ravens. Ravens look like they're bringing some pressure. They back off. A little bit of QB spy, and oh, great catch by number 18. That's his second great catch of the game. And touchdown Packers as this game's getting away from the Ravens. I got a big enough hand. Sometimes I just like manhandle this thing. Yeah, I think I got like almost 9 3/4, so like almost 10-inch hands, and I wear double XL wide receiver glove and like size 14 cleat maybe. So your boy's a big dude. You know how hard it is to find size 14 flip flops? It is not easy. And honestly, size 14 is like my foot's like all like that close to going over the edge. Like honestly, I probably need a size 15 to be like comfortable. So your boy, like I said, got your boy's a big boy. But great catch there. That's Heath making a little bit of statement maybe to make the Green Bay roster. I don't know how. Let's take a look at this Green Bay roster. Let's take a look at this Packers depth chart. Wide receiver. Okay, Malik Heath is actually the second behind Jaden Reed. Probably like wide receiver 5 to 6, maybe. So okay, okay, not like terrible, but that's a great sign to see from Green Bay that your guy can go out there and the Ravens secondary guys like Pepe Williams are potential starter level guys. Um, very interesting. And I tried to tell Packer fans last year in my draft special, I thought Tucker Kraft was going to be a great pick. Luke Musgrave was kind of almost like NFL ready now. So Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave is going to be a great combo for 3 more years. The big story, of course, Jordan Morgan, the tackle, has been slotted in as right guard actually, and they did need some interior line help, so that's actually great news for them. And of course, the defense for the Packers very stout: Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, T.J. Slayton, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Jair Alexander. They also got one of my favorite safeties in this draft, Javon Bullard out of Georgia. Bullard and Bullock, Georgia and USC were some of the only like true like center field like safeties in this draft that had that level of athleticism, and they've got Bullard slotted in as a strong safety, which is terrifying. And of course, also took Keaton Oladipo, another guy I really liked, and of course, Kayshawn Nixon and Eric Stokes and Kalen King been playing pretty well for them as well. It's gonna be a good one. Like, oh my god, I'd love to win season tickets for the Ravens. Even though I wouldn't be able to actually probably go, I would 100%. Honestly, I would sell them at 50% under the rate. that they're going for online is what I would do it online through Twitter to Raven fans, like, just because it's not like if I was blessed to get the tickets and I couldn't, I would think about giving them away for free. The only reason I even think about selling them is because your boy could really use some money, and that would be a great income. But at the same time, like being able to give away those, that'd be a great thing for the channel if I somehow won those tickets. Oh my god, you probably have to be a citizen of the state. I think you got to, yeah. Okay, you got to play the Maryland lottery. If your team's looking for a linebacker or a punter, send them my way. Your boy just ran also last night, sick and not feeling well, the best mile of his entire life. First and 10, handoff going up the middle, little cut left. That's Kellyanne. Pretty good run on the play. Pearl, Bullock. Looks like a lot of the backup Ravens offensive line in there. I see Darian Dalcourt, like all third string, fourth string offensive lineman in for the Ravens. So looks like the Ravens are kind of done for the day. I think they're looking for a reason to be like, oh, yeah, it's a blowout because we're playing like four stringers, right? Devin Leary still in there, though. Kelly in there with Leary and a little toss play going left. Not a bad game. It's going to be a first down. Ball at the 21-yard line of the Ravens as they're trying to get this going. This has been an absolutely crazy game so far. And, and I'm wondering, I might not go the full game today, guys, just because, again, a lot of the Ravens have came out already. The wide receivers are still, like, fighting, it looks like. Maybe some DBs. But I might cut it after the third quarter. 1, the competition's going to drop. 2, it's a blowout. 3, I'm doing a show later tonight, and my voice is, already getting a little scratchy. And just like I said, I've got 2 hours of sleep, so I might go take a nap in between here and Jackbox Gaming. But man, I'm gonna be honest, guys. My notes so far do not look good for the Ravens. Like lots of good things for the Packers, lots of bad things for the Ravens right now. Laulu getting with a penalty now, and that's not a good look. As Laulu finally coming in the game, and Laulu. 6'6", 330 pounds out of Oregon. Looks like he's playing at right. He's playing at right tackle or right guard? Right tackle. Interesting. That's the only offensive lineman we're watching. Ben Cleveland playing a little left guard, it looks like, actually, too. And Tez Walker looking for a flag there, not going to get one. Pass going off the left side of the field. And Leary looks like he was telling one of the wide receivers that he ran the wrong route. Leary just looks defeated, man. He looks like nobody's listening to him. He looks annoyed with his team. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just his, Christopher, okay, my boy. See you later tonight. Yep. I appreciate you dropping in, Christopher, my guy. 2nd and 18. Little draw play. That's Collier, and not able to get away from the first guy. And I feel like that was a problem with like not taking the correct steps you were supposed to be taking. He needed smaller, choppier steps. And when like he planted his leg, the Packer guy just right on that leg, right on that hip, and stuck him basically. Look at Zay and Isaiah standing on the bench to watch. You love it. You gotta love it, dude. I just love some of these young Ravens, man. God, I'd love to have some jerseys. Laulu, okay, not bad protection. Leary picked off again, tries to fit one over the middle off the hands of his wide receiver. Might have just thrown it too hard as number 54 still taking. He's on his feet still. We've got a flag, and he's tackled at maybe the 7-yard line. This might be a blindside block on the Packers, though. So it might walk it back 15. And Devin Leary, Devontae Walker is helmet off, upset, going to the sideline right now. And we are going to get a blindside block. It wasn't that bad. It kind of like it gave a little oomph on the blind side, but it wasn't like that bad. But yeah, you can't like take him off his feet like that. You got to like just nudge him. And let's watch this here. Devin Leary just staring this down. Never looks at the linebacker. And again, Devin Leary now 2 interceptions, staring it down. And this is one of those ones. He had that knack in college. I like the arm talent, but I can we're like it's one of those ones again. I liked what I saw. I probably wouldn't have drafted him myself unless I knew I had good conversations with him. And I don't know what conversations the Ravens had with him if they really thought they could fix his eye discipline, but he has got to fix that. Oh, and number 25 misses his tackle there, ends up finally making the play, pushing him out of bounds. But what should have been a short gain turns into a long run off the right side, and that's Jack Browning. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Jack Browning, Kadar Hallman have the same number for some reason on the Ravens roster. That's Kadar Hallman, the cornerback. Like John Harbaugh, just arms crossed, like, can we get on the plane yet? 8:40 here in the third. Packers ball on the 18-yard line. First and 10. Plenty of time. Oh, that's a bad pick. And that's Trenton Simpson. He threw it right to him. And oh, two Packers just hit each other trying to tackle Simpson. And a Packer is definitely hurt on that play. Oh my God. Two Packers just tried to level Trenton Simpson at the same time. Trenton kind of just smartly ducks and goes down. And oh my God, I heard that contact, ladies and gentlemen. And a little bit of pressure on the back end of that play. And Pratt just throws the ball right without ever looking there. Just, well, no, he looks there, but I don't know what happened there on that throw, but right to Trenton Simpson on the play. Oh, God, that hit on the Packer. I feel bad. I hope he's okay. But we're having a pretty good day here on the stream, I feel like so far. Definitely it's not quite I gotta do more. I gotta keep my memory. I believe what I'm gonna be doing this season is the games in OBS Studio and my collabs and other shows in StreamYard like this. StreamYard just makes collabs easier. With OBS, I can bring more to the stream. It's more streamlined. I can really do what I want to do to make the stream look good. You know what I'm saying? I have to remember that. I'm looking up some stuff for my OBS as well, so I can make sure I have a better presentation in OBS next year or next game. Just one of the ones why I'm thinking also about doing OBS for my games is I scheduled every single game for the entire freaking season. Every single game, not just Ravens game, but all the other games through YouTube. StreamYard does not allow me to connect to already pre-made YouTube videos, basically. Um, so it really kind of hurts me a little bit there. And then, of course, it doesn't have as many option choices for the YouTube videos as well, um, which I guess that's something I'm going to put into StreamYard. Kelly in at running back again, and Yeah, we've got Cleveland in there at left guard, it looks like, which maybe not a good sign for Cleveland that he's in there with the third and fourth stringers are in. So maybe he did take a huge step back from last year. Beak looks healthy. They're interviewing him right now, talking about the defense, and he looks healthy, man. He looks just good. Smacking on that gum a little bit. Handoff going left and nowhere as the Packers are right there at the line of scrimmage and behind it. The Ravens O line just getting no push here. And see, like he talks about, they asked about Zach Orr and how do you feel about him? He just always brings that energy, man. He brings that energy. I want to hear he is smart. He makes the game easy, like what they used to say about McDonald a little bit. I'm hoping Zach Orr is going to be just as good. And oh, Leary delivers a good pass there to, oh my God, that's Ismail and just dropped. You gotta love Beak too. Talking about, I gotta prove the haters wrong, man. There's some people out there saying I'm just a one hit wonder and not gonna be able to do it again, and I want to prove them wrong. Love it. Absolutely love it. I hope he dominates this year. Travis Jones looks like he's ready to take that next step finally. Urban, solid. Washington looking like he's back to that old form. The reason why the Ravens originally gave him the extension. Um, it, it's exciting to be 100% honest with you. Like, I feel like I'm already forgetting something too on that D line. Oh yeah, Michael Pierce. Hmm. I feel like the Ravens might need. So they got DeAndre and Sanat, which is he's showing some good, but the way we're getting run over our nose tackles, one injury to nose tackle could spell disaster for us. I feel like I I would not be opposed to picking up a veteran nose tackle if one becomes available, like at a veteran minimum kind of deal. So of course the Ravens have Michael Pierce. Backup is DeAndre and Sanat, Josh Tupou. Josh Tupou, I love you, man. I wish you the best in life. But Tupou has been getting pushed around. He has constantly been the one guy I see every time in every preseason game where I've been bitching and moaning we're getting run on up the middle, off left guard. I swear Tupou's there every single time. Um, I just, like I said, God forbid there's an injury to Pierce. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Um, I don't know. I'm not 100% on our backup nose tackle depth to handle the middle. I'm very happy with the linebacker depth right now. Maybe could use like one more young guy, but actually, no. I think we're fine. Actually, and of course, corners and safeties. I'm very happy with the depth. So I'm maybe looking for a nose tackle potentially. I mean, maybe a wide receiver, but honestly, I'd rather take a young guy over a veteran in that position. And I mean, maybe the Ravens might look at McCary's listed as the starting right tackle. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see how it shakes out. Packers going left side, bad tackles, and which should have been a loss, ends in a small gain. And Lamar got like a little like pipe going. I think it's the air conditioning hose going into the back of his shirt right now. He looked like a bionic up there. He's recharging the battery. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta blow my nose after that sneeze. Oh, the only good part about a sneeze, my God, does it open up my sinuses after I blow my nose? Like loosens it all up, and then I can finally breathe a little bit. Feel like my throat's hurting just because I'm mouth breathing so much. Probably take a cough drop after the game. First and 10, though. Ball here on the 37, 38-yard line. Handoff going right. And good tackle there. That, I believe, was Tupu, actually. Nope, that's going to be 68. Let me double check this here. CJ Ravenel. And Ravenel, if I'm not mistaken, his first preseason game had an excellent game. Um, there's been a lot of talk who's going to be that guy on the Ravens defense that might step up, just like Michael Pierce did in his rookie year as an undrafted rookie free agent. The Ravens are looking for one of those guys to step up, and that's really the only place we're looking on defense is this interior line here. Good push on the left side and bad pass there if that was Pratt. That was. And if we are watching the game right now, your focus on the Ravens defense should only be in one spot, and that's on the interior of the defensive line, the two defensive tackles, essentially. We're looking to see the push on him here. I mean, Tavius Robinson's still in the game a little bit, but considering it's not starting level tackles, Tavius got a good pressure there, though. So Tavius getting a lot of good snaps. Ravens look like they might bring pressure, lined up double A gap. They back out of it, only bring the 4. Pass over the middle and bad tackle. I think that was Demarion Pepe Williams. And had a chance to make a tackle short of the line to gain. And due to the missed tackle, that's a first down. And we've got a Ravens player slow to get up now. That's number 57. And that's Yvandi Rigby, one of the inside linebackers for the Ravens. Probably was not going to make the roster, but either way, you don't ever like to see those injuries to these players. He's a 6'1 rookie out of Temple, 235 pounds. Wearing number 57. He's wearing the number that's dear and close to my heart. So, like, we're going to hope he's okay. You gotta love how Gamecast is ahead of my actual game. Like, crazy. Kevin Hart. They want someone that can run a 40, someone that not someone that is 40. I ain't gonna lie, that was a funny commercial. Kevin Hart and LeBron James. Oh, I'm so torn. Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, is coming to the Hertz Arena next month, I think, over here down in Florida. And oh, me and the girlfriend thought about getting tickets to go see him. And if I got any Raven fans in here, I'd love to hear what are your thoughts so far on what you've seen in this preseason. Um, let me see here. And again, if you weren't here earlier, guys, we talked about it. Uh, Later this evening, we're going to be doing our Jackbox gaming and Q&A. Usually on Friday nights, we're doing Saturday this week, just due to everything going on, and wasn't feeling the best yesterday. Like, dude, I'm like working on the third sickness. Like, we had like a stomach bug at first, and then swore we had COVID after that. Now, like, we've got some sinus thing. Like, it's been rough, that's for sure. Uh, or hopefully, I think I'm finally on the better side of it. I don't know if I'm getting better or worse yet. Um, but we'll be having Jackbox Gaming tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time on the channel with a bunch of other content creators and friends. Come join, play, chat with us. It's going to be a really fun time. Last week, we were literally crying, laughing so hard. It was such a good time. And it's more of a laid back, relaxed atmosphere. Going to have a little crowd and Mr. Pibb. It's going to be fun. And good tackle by Braid as he continues to be one of the real standouts here. Bo Braid, Joe Evans on the stop. And like the announcer was saying, these guys are competing for like practice squad. And like there was a Natrone Bate or whatever is the Atlanta Hawks defender. Oh my god. If he doesn't make a roster, I've got a note from last game about him where if I need a corner and I play a lot of zone, oh yeah, I'm finding that young man. Run off the right side and another good gain. I didn't see which tackle was over there. And Trent Simpson, another tackle, but he's making it several yards downfield, which is not what you want to see. But it's not his fault. And you gotta love he's been wearing the green dot helmet in these preseason games, meaning he's doing the play calling, and it helps him better understand the defense, I feel like. Let's see, 68 on the left. Solid stone wall on both sides, 68. And I think wasn't 74. Is that 64 maybe? Nope, not 74. Who was that? 94? Okay, Walthor and CJ Ravenel were in there. And of course, Gamecast has already ruined it for us because Gamecast is somehow ahead of my TV broadcast from W Baltimore TV. The field goal will be good, and the Packers are going to extend this to a 37 lead with about 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Woo! That was a good kick by the Packers kicker. It's like Greg Joseph, they said. 250 plus yarders today with enough leg to definitely go further. I know it's preseason, it doesn't matter, but man, it bothers me a little bit like seeing like some of this stuff happen because I'm just used to the Ravens have always had incredibly deep teams, I feel like. It's the reason why we always had that preseason record. But, and like they're saying right there, Ravens have a lot of young players on this roster, especially at edge. Ojabo, Owe, Robinson, Adisa, Isaac, the only veteran, really, Kyle Van Noy over there. And like they're saying, we really won't have an answer for the pass rush and we have to be able to get some pass rush, whether it's through play calling or just individual effort. You have to have a pass rush to win a championship. It's simple as that. But everyone's saying Owe looks, everyone has always said Owe can't stand out. Can't. This year, he's supposedly even more. He is getting a sack every day, at least, I feel like, if not multiple, which is what you want to see out of your guy that's, hopefully going to get the extension and be a long term pass rusher for us here in Baltimore. And the hard part is this with Oway getting the fifth-year option. Uh, what is the extension if Oway goes and produces a double-digit sack season, what will the extension for Oway look like? Is gonna be a big thing, I feel like. And this is probably gonna be the last Ravens offensive drive we watch for the day before we take a break to ease off the voice. First and 10, ball at the 30, deep pass right, and oh, Leary hit Wade, but he double clutches on the ball, and that second off the hands catch leads him out of bounds. If he had brought it on the first catch, bounce off his hands, that'd have been a huge gain on the first. And that's what I want to see out of Leary is more of those deep balls. Second and 10 after the incompletion. I think he's having flashback to his Kentucky days a little bit right now, getting blindsided, watching his wide receiver bounce the ball off his hands a few times. Like he's having a little bit of his Kentucky flashbacks. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to get hit. And not much there. Third and long here. Late flag. Real late flag, they're saying. I'm guessing they're going to say it's a late hit to the quarterback who was already sliding. Going to give a 15-yard penalty to the Ravens. Going to bring up a or give them a new set of downs. He's saying something to Ryan right now. Maybe like telling him, hey, man, I'm going to hit you on this, bro. You better go out there and beat this guy, burn him. And we've got a Packer player shaking up on the play. And I'm sorry, guys. I got to blow my nose again. I'm so sorry. This is just rough, guys. This is rough. Pass over the middle. That's Ryan. And he was telling Ryan right before the play something. So that was an easy tell. Playing around with some of the preset cameras a little bit. Very interesting. Oh, they're shit talking Baltimore right now. They literally just shit talked Baltimore. Collier with a good stiff arm and first down run. They literally just shit talked Baltimore. They're like, wait, some coastal cities we're not going to mention. We don't want to offend anyone because they know a lot of the game analysts a while ago said I forgot exactly what, but they kind of said they don't like coming to Baltimore. They really don't like traveling here. They don't like staying in here for the games. And everyone's like, that's a pretty shitty thing to say about our city. 20 seconds left here in the third. Ravens are moving the ball finally. Leary going to his halfback, and that's a bad throw. Collier, the intended receiver on the throw, and they're joking right now. If you're a 190-pound back and you have to tackle Derrick Henry, I'm considering retirement. 15 seconds on the clock here. Little toss play going left. Collier and pretty good blocking out there on the left side. Number 60 to finishing his block. That's actually what you like to see a little bit. That was Julian Pearl, the rookie out of Illinois. Okay, okay. I like the way he finished that block on the left side toss. Ooh, excuse me. Again, we're only running on like 2 hours of sleep right now, guys. So please excuse me. And again, excuse like the background. We're still getting everything set up, for this room and don't have it all set up just quite yet. I switch that to that side. I can. I kind of like that one better, actually. Oh, I can expand that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then let's move it over a little. That's nice. Sorry, I'm playing around sizing of it. Can I? Oh, because I don't really go to that side very often. I lean back this way. Mm, this is a rough game. That's all I gotta say. You can't critique too much, but like I said, I really don't like the usage of timeouts by the Ravens, not using any in the first half. Um, I really want to see a nose tackle step up here. Leary has got to stop staring down those throws. We got to make a Hawk Tua meme out of the Harbaugh spit thing. If you didn't watch that earlier, Harbaugh went to go spit, and the camera was on him, and it got stuck on his chin, and it was like hanging down. And we're gonna make a good Hawk Tua meme out of that for sure. Harbaugh trying to get the Ravens offense going. Hawk Tua trying to grease up the Ravens offense. Oh my god, I'm gonna make that a meme. Oh my god, I might do it right now while we're live. Uh, Harbaugh spit on chin. See if I can find the image already. I'm gonna have to probably go back and find it actually live. See if we can find it. It was just so new that. Uh, sorry. Let's see. Leary pass to Cunningham. That's a good catch. And Lamar and Zay now up there. I'm trying to see if I can find something. Doesn't look like anyone on Twitter's gotten to it yet. Oh, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna make so many memes about it. Ooh, this guy, man, hating on Harbaugh 2 years ago. I'm trying to find something out. He was basically saying spitting on fans in the space of fans and crazy. And 4th and 1 as they're telling him he did not make the line in the game. Harbaugh looks like he's gonna challenge. Probably not a great challenge unless you're 100% that you are going to get that. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just confused on it just as much as all of you are probably. Ugh. Poe, get him hyped up. Bring Poe onto the stream. Poe back from his broken leg here to cheer us up. God, I need something. I need something positive to go out on, guys. 30-7. Give me something good to go out on here. Like, don't do me like this, Ravens. Like, I need something to give me a little more hope. I mean, like, I got tons of hope for the season because the teams we've been walking on preseason are not the teams you're going to see in regular season. It's you won't give everybody butterscotch candy. Probably out your pocket with no wrapper. Just go give them raw candy. That's nasty. Oh, I do like me some comedy. And if you like comedy, you gotta love Kevin Hart, right? Like, he kind of broke some walls for comedians, like selling out stadiums and Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. Had some really big venues, and of course, if I'm not mistaken, he also took a lot of that and used his spotlight to help other comedians who really weren't getting what he felt like the attention that they deserved. Which I think a few of them even went on to get like shows and stuff like that. So it's good to see. Like, and the Ravens challenge and lose the review. Yeah, and the ball that is the correct call. The ball never got there. That's a bad challenge by Harbaugh. And Leary gonna quarterback keep it. I don't know if he got there. He doesn't. Wow. And then the Ravens don't even. Oh my God. And bad snap, basically. Bobbled the snap so he couldn't go right behind the center, had to go off like right guard. And God, I asked for the Ravens just to give me a little bit to help me get through. Go take a good nap. And then bad challenge. Again, who is in Harbaugh and Monken's ear about game management decisions? Fire them. The real answer is there is nobody there, and that's why they tried to hire back Jerry Rosberg. John, if you need someone to tell you some game analytical situations, when to challenge, like when to, tell your offensive coordinator, hey, you've got 100%, or your D coordinator, 100%, you've got a timeout to burn. You have one that's 100%. If you feel you need it, take it. Keep that in mind. And like, make sure they know. Call the offensive coordinator, hey, bro, why are we not running the ball? Yeah, yeah. Let's go back to running the ball. If you don't run the ball, I'm just gonna call the plays from here. Like, and that's my thing. Do you think John Harbaugh could successfully play call? Like with because and Bew Braid with a big hit as he was going out of bounds, as he continues to be one of the lone highlights on this defensive unit late in the game. And we've got a flag on the play. They might call on sportsmanlike conduct. Nope, we've got an illegal man downfield on the Packers. So they're gonna walk this one back 5 yards. And they walk the flag back. So 3rd and 3 after the tackle by Braid. 68 and 94 in there right now. So that's CJ Ravenel and Tremel Walther are the interior nose tackles here on a 3rd and 3. Big thing to keep an eye on. Tavius Robinson made a big play on a run, end zone run last week. Let's see, maybe. Okay, we actually got. Okay, yeah. Oh, and that's Tavius just missed his assignment. And a huge run by number 30. Tavius had the outside edge. He slammed the tight end or tackle. I'm not sure exactly on that, but then he literally pushed him back, and then he almost like created a hole, which then the running back went through. So like, gotta have your eyes in the like for looking for the running back. He set an edge, but wasn't looking. It felt like, and yeah, of course, like someone else maybe should have been there, linebacker wise, but yeah, that's where I want to see you pop and get an arm out. It just didn't seem like he was even looking for the run there, and the run went right by him. And there's another short run up the middle. 12:20 here in the fourth quarter, still packed in Lambeau. They're diehard fans in Lambeau in this 37 blowout. And they're giving Ronnie Stanley a little interview right now. One of the shout outs to M&T Bank Stadium when we went to training camp there last year, they had a lot of like even the interviews, they captioned it and put it on the TV. And that was so nice because my girlfriend's she has hearing loss, like 90% in both ears. And so she can't hear anything. And so she was like able to like at least like read the interviews. Really enjoyed that they did that. Handoff going off left guard, and that's about a 5-yard gain on the play. And CJ Ravenel over there on that side. And like they're talking about there, Joe D, our offensive line coach, acute illness. He I think went into the hospital. I don't know if he's out yet, but old school kind of coach. Really loved in the Ravens locker room, and we're hoping he's going to be okay. He's been a big part of this Ravens offensive line unit. 11 minutes on the clock here in the fourth. Packers just continuing this run game and off the left guard again. Just the same place we've seen almost every run go. And the continued success of the Packers and every team that's run against the Ravens so far in preseason has been on that same side. 10:50 here in the fourth, as I think we might have a Raven player shaken up on the play. And again, guys, thanks for everyone for coming and hanging out with us today. Again, we will have Jackbox games tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time with a little bit of Q&A. You come back, check that out. We've got a lot of people joining us tonight for a collab game for it. So second and 2 after the Packer run, and we're still waiting to see. I'm guessing someone got shook up because they went to commercial. Oh, God. This is a weird commercial. PMSI. Centipedes can run at 1.7 miles an hour. We could do better. Ants can lift 10 times their body weight. We could do better. No, we can't. Very rarely can a 100-pound human lift 1,000 pounds. I don't think I've ever seen that once in my life. What do they say? Pests or squirrels can climb. We can climb better. No, you can't. No, that's a lie. Um, that was the weird Baltimore pest control commercial. That's one of those pest commercials. I if I lived in Baltimore, I would laugh, and I would never call that company 100% based off of their ad. Maybe I'm too judgmental, guys. Like maybe I'm being a little harsh. I wish I could have shown y'all that commercial. It was bad. I hope you can run faster than a centipede. And again, no, you cannot lift like an ant. No, you cannot climb like a squirrel. Even if you had a ladder, a squirrel would beat you up a tree before you went up that ladder. Unless like your Japanese fire Olympics ladder climbing. Yeah, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that video, but oh, look how beautiful Lambo looks. They got like the scenery. They're just just panoramic, kind of going around, showing the neighborhoods and all the trees. That is just beautiful. It looks like a beautiful day in Lambo. A little bit of wind going on, like breezy, sunny, like and Kelly having a little bit of talk with Lamar right there, having a little fun, like on the sideline. John Jay says, sorry for the outcome of the game. It is what it is. It's preseason. This is not the Ravens team that's going to be on the field, not even close. But it still stings, seeing some of the bad plays and again the bad choices. Handoff up the right guard, and again another pretty good gain, and we've got a pile push going on, and that's going to be at least 5 yards. Was John Jay says, was there anything positive for this game for the Ravens? Let's see here. I mean, Ojabo looked really good at the beginning of the game. Braid continues to make plays, but even if he makes the team, he's going to be super low in the chart. Um, Broderick Washington looks good again. But other than that, no. The third strings and fourth strings, basically, for the Ravens have not looked good. And Josh Jones showed why he cannot be our backup left tackle for the Ravens. If you weren't there earlier, Josh Jones was lined up at left tackle with Devin Leary as the quarterback. It was a play action with the right. Basically, there was a little bit of down blocking right, but the left tackle was not supposed to down block. He was supposed to backside block, and they got a free edge rusher on Devin Leary's blind side, blew him up for a strip sack, which they returned for a touchdown. Um, and like Lamar and everyone looked worried. They're like, we can't have that happen to Lamar. Like, hell no. And everyone was on their tablets, like, who fucked up? Who fucked up that play? So it's been a little rough. And there's finally a good play for the Ravens. Finally able to stop that run. That's Ravenel and Joe Evans. Yeah, there's not been a lot of good news for the Ravens in this one, that's for sure. But of course, like I said, this is a lot of guys that aren't going to be on the roster. Devin Leary looks like he's headed for the practice squad. Just no eye discipline at all. It's been rough. It's been rough. That's for sure. 3rd and 6, toss play going left for the Packers. I'm sorry, and good tackle on the play by 31. That's Bump Cooper Jr. And that's a guy that showed a lot in training camp. We really thought he might be like Braid, like one of those guys that breaks out, makes the roster. But I feel like he was really quiet in the Atlanta game. I haven't seen much. His name's Ryan, but he used to bump his head on everything, so they nicknamed Bump. So his nickname Bump is from hitting his head all the time as a child. And here's the Packers lining up for another field goal. 7:25 here on the clock. 32, and I can't even see the ball. Where did the ball go? It's not good. I didn't even see where the ball went. That looked like an NCAA kick. Just wait, where did my ball go? That is rough, guys. I don't even know if I want to watch another Ravens offensive drive at this rate. Like, that was just hard to watch. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. I'm getting over this sickness. Give me one moment. Be right back, guys. Hopefully, we can get some positive notes before we get out of here. Whew. Ow. Oh my god, that hurt. Oh my god, that hurt. Oh, I ran the back of my chair wheel into my heel. Ah, but I'll have to get the tissues and like a little trash can over here for tonight because my nose is like raw. I feel like you can even like see it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm really hoping we get something going on here. And they're saying Zach Moss right here is going to be taking over for running back duties in Cincinnati. I think Chase Brown takes that job before the end of the season. Mark my words. Chase Brown, one of my running backs I featured on my draft special last year. Absolutely love that Cincinnati picked him up. Well, not if he plays well against us, but I think he'll take that job over. We finally get to see the Deshaun Watson if he's anything. And of course, if he's not, we're going to see a lot of Tyler Huntley from the Ravens. And I feel like that's going to be a big thing too. And one of the things that really bothered me this offseason, and I feel like it was a statement, is how many Ravens went to like divisional opponents or like Jim Harbaugh's Chargers, someone that was going to play a big, meaningful game, that like a statement game against Harbaugh and the Ravens. I feel like that in itself was a statement from a lot of the guys that left. Like Geno Stone signed for less than I predicted he was going to sign for with a divisional opponent. And you saw a lot of that with like Saquon going to the Philadelphia Eagles, Kellen Moore going from the offensive coordinator from the Cowboys to the Eagles. A lot of these players did want to make statements against their former employers and teams. And I wonder if some of these free agents that left Baltimore, like PQ, like Tyler Huntley, like Geno Stone, left for divisional rivals for that reason, which I really hope not. Little screenplay going right, and we've got Emory Jones in the game now instead of Devin Leary, which you know says a lot. Says a lot, that's for sure. 6:30 here in the fourth. We're just gonna power through and finish this game. Might as well, right? Like we're almost there. My voice is getting a little raspy, but let's get through it. Like I'm almost out of my drink, so I gotta like go get water. You don't drink, Mr. Pibb? Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. Please don't hate me. But again, we're gonna be doing some Jackbox games tonight as well. If you've ever played Jackbox games, you know. If you don't know, it's like a bunch of trivia, picture five style games that we can play with the chat. We're gonna play with like a bunch of people on stream as well here on StreamYard. We played last week on Friday. It's going to be a weekly Friday thing at 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's an absolute blast. We were crying laughing last week, which was our debut show. So if you kind of enjoyed the channel, if you want some laughs, have a drink. I'm going to be drinking Crown and Pib. You know, have a drink, relax, maybe share some laughs, have some comedy. You like I said, chat can even join in the game as well from their phones, even. So come hang out with us tomorrow tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, absolute blast. And not much on this kickoff or punt return. I'm sorry. And they're talking about this opening schedule here: Kansas City, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills. It is a brutal stretch of the first 5 games for the Ravens. The only advantage the Ravens have the highest rest advantage since the Cowboys like 2 years ago with their or like a year ago with their best season they've ever had. And rest advantage just means that net rest over the team. So like, we play on Sunday, our opponent plays on Monday night. So technically we have a full day's rest over the next week's game over them. So it, beginning of the season is going to be rough. But towards the end of the season, we're gonna feel better. I think we got a week 14 bye week, if I'm not mistaken. So super late bye week, which is fantastic for a playoff run. Um, but it also will make that early season struggle that much harder. 2nd and 8 as the Packers are getting started here at the 19-yard line of their side. And we're just gonna see nothing probably but runs here for the rest of the game, guys. Um, so with that, I'm gonna start wrapping this up on final thoughts. let's run through the notes here. All right, Bo Braid, Maryland Terrapin continues to show up with a lot of tackles. Is it preseason? Will he make a roster? He might be one of those last guys. Of course, to continue, we still don't really know who the full starting offensive line is going to be week one. Hopefully, we'll get a little more clarity on that soon. Jones was looking good early in the game, but not. Samak, the backup center, was looking really good. He actually, though, carted off the field earlier in the game. We hope he's okay. That's definitely a little bit of a blow for the Ravens. Broderick, though, looked pretty good coming back. Ojabo and Robinson were getting some good pressures early in the game. Deontay Hardy, though, on his punt return earlier, had so much space and just he danced around for 5 yards basically instead of getting vertical and getting downfield. We don't like to see that. We'd like to joke, the run game's not working really well right now, guys. But without Stanley, Linderbaum, and like the actual starting offensive line, it's a lot different. And you got to remember, there's no Patrick Ricard right now either. And I joked about it earlier on the stream if you weren't here. What's so funny about the Ravens is they get away with the most obvious but non-obvious tactic in the NFL, and no one else does it. When the Ravens run an I formation with Patrick Ricard in the backfield, you call that an I formation. But Ricard has practiced with the O-line. He worked out with the tackles last year. Um, he's 300 pounds. He's essentially an O-lineman. He's not like call him a fullback is like almost a diversion tactic. When the Ravens run I formation, they're like secretly running offset power with an extra lineman out there in a sense. But they call it I formation and everyone sees it as I formation. But what it really is offset power with an extra lineman out there in a sense. So that's a fun thing to think about a little bit. Harbaugh, we got to go find the clip. I haven't been able to find it on Twitter. Harbaugh was trying to spit and it got caught on his chin and was just like hanging and dripping. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." And the camera was just dead on him too. Like it was kind of hilarious. We're going to try to find it later, clip it so I can make some Hawk Tua memes. Was it Clifford or Pratt had a play action for the Packers at 9:58 in the second quarter to nobody. A little bit of miscommunication there, I guess, but it ended up working out for him. We talked about it earlier. Josh Jones had a horrible miscommunication at left tackle, ended up letting Devin Leary get blindsided and strip sacked for a touchdown. Leary continues just to stare down his wide receivers. Absolutely zero eye discipline. Has got to be just practice squad at this point. He's got to show some growth. And like I said, Devin Leary was on my draft special, but it was just one of those ones. I think I even said on the draft special, you only take this guy if you've had the conversations and you feel really comfortable. Because the digression or regression at Kentucky from NC State was alarming. Yes, there was different systems. Yes, there was like different personnel, but that doesn't change staring down wide receivers. We talked a little bit about mismanagement of timeouts by John Harbaugh in the first half, probably steer in the second half. We saw a great timeout by Green Bay in a key offensive situation. We talked, so I'll reemphasize, you should never end a half of football with all three timeouts. There should always be an opportune time on a third and short, third and long, like we talked about earlier. So in the Packers situation, it was 3rd and 4 in the red zone. They were looking to take back the lead. Baltimore walked up almost looking like cover zero. A lot of guys blitz coming. Green Bay took it in, saw the look, called the timeout. Great. So not only do you, of course, call that, really get your play in line for that first down, but like I mentioned, you go ahead and get the next play for that red zone drive lined up. so that after you get the 3rd and 4 conversion, which is an easy conversion, you can still even run it at that point in the red zone because most of the defenders are going to back off towards the goal line, giving a bend don't break, not the 3rd and 4. Um, but so you get the first down, quickly get back to the line and run the second play that you called during the timeout because you're again sure that you're going to get this, which again not only is demoralizing to the defense that they didn't get that out on 3rd and 4 and get and prevent the and or I'm sorry, leave it at a field goal attempt. But when you quickly run back to the line of scrimmage, they're tired. They're going to get disorganized. And then, of course, the real final part of that is the second play you call during the timeout, you call motion in to further create miscommunication issues and mismatches. And then you should walk into the end zone with the easy touchdown. Maybe I'm crazy here, but so again, ending the timeout or game with all three time or first half with all three timeouts really bothered me. What up, Philly, my guy? I'm feeling a little better. I'm still a little sick. My voice is starting to go a little bit from the game, but Devin Leary is doing horrible. He is staring. He literally is not breaking eye contact from his very first read. So much that he is out of the game now. His left tackle let him get blown up and get strip sacks. He had a beautiful pass deep on the right side, but his wide receiver bobbled it. Just not the best. The Ravens have definitely got some guys maybe to look at here. Again, Tuesday. Let me get the time here. I want to get y'all the official time here. NFL teams must have roster cut Tuesday. So all 32 NFL teams are required to trim their offseason rosters to the 53-player roster by 4 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. So we're going to see a lot of cuts, and I wonder if the Ravens might be interested in a little bit of, and the thing is this, Spongy, I actually had Devin Leary on my draft special because I liked what I saw at the combine. His arm talent is legit, but decision making and eye discipline was his knack at Kentucky. And it was something I said during the draft special. I said, you only take this guy if you've had these conversations and you feel good about it. I guess the Ravens did, but it's not looking good right now. And he's definitely probably headed for practice squad over QB3 this year. And Collier stuffed as that's going to basically bring her out the end of the game. They're not going to probably even make a play, punt the ball here on 4th down. It's over. Thoughts on Jackson Carman? Hold on. I'm not even sure. The offensive tackle for the Bengals. Probably not what we're really looking for. If the Ravens are, Patrick McCary is basically the backup left tackle as well. Daniel Falele even played a little left tackle. I definitely could see the Ravens interior like nose tackle, maybe an RB3. Kelly, I feel like is the strongest out of the three to make the roster. Owen Wright showed a lot, but I think Kelly's the guy to go with there. I don't know. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Whew, I've been sneezing like crazy too lately, guys. Like he was a second round pick a few years ago, and he just got cut. They had Jonah Williams struggling at left tackle. Jonah's struggling, that guy's struggling. Like, he might not be bad. I haven't really seen any tape or film on him. Ravens might be looking at a wide receiver, but I feel like bringing in a veteran for wide receiver 5 and 6 is just not the way to go. I still don't want Deontay Hardy. I'm sorry. I'd rather take my chances with Tylan Wallace. and maybe a special team standout from like the CFL or XFL. We saw in the 49ers game actually yesterday, the Raider that took the punt return, led the CFL in kickoff return yards. So the translation is there from the CFL, XFL, like kickoff and all of that. So that's something to keep an eye on. Hakeem Butler. I mean, the Ravens are stacked at secondary, so we don't really need like secondary help. It was a rough day for the Ravens. I really trying to think where else do the Ravens need a little bit of depth. Depending on the Nick Samak injury, Ravens could maybe use a little bit of way back up interior line, but I don't know. I'm very interested to see how the rosters are going to shake out here. I don't think the Ravens, and of course, another thing to keep an eye out is the Ravens have infamously been kind of active trading at the cut deadline. Tyree Phillips traded, a while ago to the Giants. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember some of the other trades we've made. But especially those offensive line have kind of been moved late. And like case in point, maybe the Ravens aren't happy with Cleveland. Maybe they're not happy with Falele. Um, we kind of talked about that in last year, that maybe the Ravens move one of these guys that's like fighting for a roster spot, or they're just not happy with and rather go with a younger, a little more unproven guy that's shown good glimpses. Uh, but all right, guys, we already wrapped up our final thoughts earlier here on the game. Let's talk a little bit last few minute things before we get out of here. Of course, again, Jackbox Gaming tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out, play with us. We were crying, laughing last week. This is going to be our second ever episode of Jackbox Games. We're going to have an even bigger crowd tonight, so it should be even more fun. I'm super excited about it. Our Kyle Kitts interview this past Tuesday got cut short because my computer like freaking up on me. We're hoping we've already talked with Kyle a little bit. We're hoping to get back on and finish the interview, do a little more. Absolutely loved going on the show with him. If you haven't checked him out, Denver Broncos streamer. We've got guys like John Jay and Philly Special Cards in here. Philly's as you can guess, a Philadelphia Eagles fan. John Jay, a 49er streamer as well. So Azo, just my boy. Kenny's got his channel as well. And we also mentioned Jason Niner, Captain Niner as well. So Philly says the Carmen guy is 24 and has good potential. I feel like we could take a chance on him because we have a great coach for that. You're not wrong there, though. Honestly, he probably will get scooped by somebody. I highly doubt he gets completely through the waiver wires, essentially. Actually, I don't know if waiver wires apply till the actual season starts. But so again, look out. Kyle Kitts hopefully coming back up again. Jackbox Gaming tonight as well as next Friday. I will be trying to get a fantasy football league organized with a draft, of course, before the Kansas City game. So maybe Thursday of this upcoming week. If not, look out for Monday through Wednesday of opening week. Of course, Kansas City opening game on the 5th. Of course, we're going to be covering that game live. We might do a fantasy football segment before that game. Again, we're also trying to get Around the Bay started as well as our new series, Commissioner of the North, where your boy Levi, aka Darwin Raven, plays the commissioner of the AFC North, basically making sure that, in charge of making sure that we're the best division in football. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep a tradition. I'm trying to send 4 teams to the playoffs. Suck it, AFC South. But either way, we got a lot of stuff we're planning up here on the channel, guys. Again, thanks to each and every one of y'all that hung out with us today on Darwin's Raven. Y'all are the ones keeping me going, honestly. I'm trying to make something out of this channel this year and really put in the effort and grow my base. We've got like one, two, three, four, five, six, like 7 to 9 interviews for pregame matchup shows. So make sure you come back and check us out. With that, guys, congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. You played an excellent game. We had a great week of practice with you. So thanks for hosting us. Thanks for letting us join in the Green Bay tradition of riding bikes to practice training camp. Sorry, my nose is running so bad right now. With that, guys, I'm your boy, Darwin's Raven. Thanks for coming in, Ravens flock, and hopefully we'll see you tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern for Jackbox Gaming and Q&A. Have a great one, guys. And Sponge, I will send the link in the Wednesday channel, so don't worry about it. D-Rave out, guys.